like if you, I put it to you this way: if you go up to a stranger on the street, if I feel like there's a high percentage that it'll only take like 5 a few minutes to figure out who you're once or twice removed from. I don't know if you fucked that someone they fucked, but it's like, oh yeah, I know him. I went to. It's either because there's only like 10 high schools, maybe 15, but there's only like there's neighborhoods, and it just people have been there for the long haul too. Yeah. It's not like a transplant city like this. So it's like, so someone always knows somebody.
People grew up there, huh?
Yeah, people grew up there, yeah. Like if you like pick a Staten Island resident and I go like right now on Facebook, anybody, I'll definitely have mutual friends.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much. I think so.
Hola, señoritas y caballeros. La bienvenida. Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank. It's definitely not conjugated right. Welcome, you guys, to Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank. On today's episode, do you guys watch Impractical Jokers? If you don't, on True TV, it's hilarious. I like most comics, were like, ugh, I can't watch fucking Staten Island D-bags. Fuck around. But it's better than that. You want to write it off because they're Staten Island D-bags, but then you watch it and you're like, oh, this is actually really funny. Sal Vulcano from the Impractical Jokers is my guest today, and he's going to talk to me about Staten Island. Garbage Barge, USA. What a fucking dump. What a terrible reputation Staten Island has. And so I wanted Sal to come in and talk about it. I wanted him to do it for a while, and then I went out of town for the winter, and then I went out of town for another winter. I leave. But then this week, guess what? He's on the season premiere of This Is Not Happening. Season 3, TV Season 3, overall Season 5. It's out October 13th, 11:59 p.m., 11 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Mountain, and then 9 or midnight. I don't know how that works. Western. This Is Not Happening, Season 3 premiere. It's me and Sal Vulcano in this one. We have all new openings, all new stories, some returning favorites like Bert Kreischer, Bobby Lee, Rena Zizi, Ali Sadiq, me, Simone. I'm trying to think who else came back. Brand new people, legends like Brian Regan, Doug Stanhope. And new guys I really like, Gastor Almonte, Sean Flannery, Joe List. It's going to be a great season, you guys. I die every episode this time in the openings. Jeff Tomzik outdid himself again. The crazy man. So set your DVRs, I guess, if you still use those. Otherwise, it's on the Comedy Central app. And the stories are out on YouTube. Right now, Sal Vulcano's story is out on YouTube. The YouTube versions, in case you're wondering, are longer and better than the TV versions because they're longer. They're complete stories. So watch them on YouTube. They come out every week. I know if you saw the old ones, you're like, I already saw this one. No, you didn't. You saw a fucking edited show. And by the way, if you live in Canada and Australia, I'm sorry, you guys. I keep trying and trying to get it unblocked in your country. And New Zealand, I guess. But who gives a fuck about New Zealand? But mostly Australia and Canada. And sure, a little bit Australia. New Zealand. Listen, my only advice, there's an app called BetterNet, and you can watch stuff using that on your phones or your computers. BetterNet, BetterNet. It's free, and it'll un-geoblock everything else. Besides that, I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know. I've tried and tried. I don't know. Tweet at them, maybe. Tweet at Comedy Central. Say, let me watch This Not Happening in my country, whatever country you're in. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. It's very frustrating for me, so I'm sorry it's frustrating to you too. But if you live in America or the UK or anywhere in Europe, go to This Is Not Happening playlist, a new story every Tuesday. And today is out. Stan Hopes is already out, and Sal Vulcano's is already out. Joe List is coming next Tuesday. So yeah, go there and watch it. And this episode's all about Staten Island, and let's start. Now, let me say one more thing. As I've been doing better in this podcast and the numbers go up, they're better than ever. Last month was the most downloads I've ever had. I don't have an ad every week, but I have an ad some weeks. So I've rethought things. You know how I pay comedians? I pay them $100 to do the show. Probably the only comic, maybe 2 or 3 other ones who actually pay comics, even though they're making ads. And I'll just keep leading by example. But every week I get a Photoshop done. And listen, here's the deal. I don't need you to work very hard in the Photoshop. It's just a quick 10-minute fucking whip something together. It's a good, fun way for fans to become part of the show. And I give you credit on my website, arithegreat.com, where you can see all the music, details from the person who's on stage, who's on the show, or extra things that we mentioned. Like for the running of the bulls, all these pictures from Kai falling down. You guys got to check that one out. The website for the Running of the Bulls podcast. For sure, check that out, arithegreat.com for that. But I've changed my mind. I don't know if you're real artists or not. I'm not commissioning real artists. I don't have a lot of money to pay you guys, but I do have more money than I had before. So from now on, I am paying the people who do Photoshops for my podcast. Not much, because I don't have much to pay for it, but I'm going to pay something. So let's say $15. That's a Comedy Store spot. $15. So if you do the Photoshop, I put it out on Twitter like I need a Photoshop. Here's this week's episode if anyone wants to help. I will send you $15. Yes, that is one Comedy Store spot. That's fair. Thank you for your work. I don't need it. The podcast will be out the same regardless, but it is a nice little detail. It makes the website look a little cooler. So, $15. Anything I use. If I don't use it, I'm not paying you. I appreciate the time you put in, the 2 minutes or the 50 minutes, whatever it is. But if I use it, I will give you money. Same goes for Instagram. If you want to do a Photoshop for my special, which is happening November 2nd through the 5th in Austin, Texas. Get your tickets now, November 2nd through the 5th. I just went down to the scouting for the fucking venue. It's going to look great. I'm so stoked I'm doing it this way. I'm taking full control over every detail of it. I don't know what I'm calling it. I keep changing. Right now, I'm thinking of childhood and adulthood, or children and adult shit, childhood and grown-up shit. I don't know, something along those lines. If you want to do a Photoshop for it, November 2nd to the 5th at Cap City Comedy Club, I'll put that up. $15 for you, too. Won't use everybody's, but make sure to include your Instagram name and your Twitter name. All right, you guys. Let's start the episode, shall we? I don't have anything else to say. I've always heard of Staten Island as being a real fucking shitburg. Sal seems to like it, so he came on, he talked to me. Let's do it. Oh, also, I'll be at the Bell House. October 18th in Brooklyn. If you want to get tickets to that, I'm doing my hour as is. We're taking an intermission in between. We're doing a hunt for the edible. I haven't done one of those in New York yet. Hunt for the edible after the show. So come to the Bell House. Get tickets right now at arithegreat.com. Let's start the episode, you guys. Why not? And if you're looking for a good muzzle for your dog, go to the Fuzzle, everybody. Thefuzzle.com. They're stylish muzzles for your shitty asshole dog. That is not a paid ad. All right, you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Tell all your friends. You can subscribe to this. You can go to my website, arithegreat.com. You can get it on iTunes. You can get it on Laughable, which is a great new app. And that's it, you guys. Let's start the episode. Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank, episode 279. Garbage Barge USA. No, Garbage Dump USA. How am I going to say this? Garbage Dump USA. All about Staten Island. Well, Sal Vulcano starts now. But yeah, I'm excited to have you on too. That's cool. When right before we started, when you were like, "It's my first time."
Yeah, I wanted to tell you that. Yeah. I was like, because for me it was like a thing, and like I was feeling it inside, and I was like, I wanted to thank you for it.
What, like nervousness or like,
No,
like glad about it?
Happy, really happy. Yeah, and so I think I just turned to you and I was like, I just want to let you know, this is my first solo television stand-up appearance. Like, thank you.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that.
Yeah. I think Louis was on right after me too, and I was like,
Anderson?
yeah. It's great. I can't. The level of people that you have on this show is unbelievable.
Yeah, Regan. We're so excited to get Regan.
I know.
And Stan Hope.
I know.
Yeah, sometimes we get good people. Yeah, Louis Anderson. Sometimes we get like people that are like, oh, hell yeah.
Do you stop and think that yourself? Like, this is my show, and these are I'm getting some of the literally the best comics that ever lived on this fucking.
Oh.
Are you ever like, look what I made this? Like, I'm
No, I'm not like that. Maybe I should.
Really?
Be.
Oh, you got to take a self-inventory.
Yeah, I got to take a step back.
I would be like that if your show was my show. I'd be like, look at look at the amalgam. Like, this is crazy what you're doing.
We had a show once at this improv side room. I think it's back open again now. Yeah, and
the lab.
The lab. Yeah. But it was just like this black box, 40 seats, and one of the shows we had was Jackie Cation, Eddie Ifft, Kreischer, Jim Jeffries, and Bill Burr.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah, good show, man.
Fuck yeah.
It was a good show. And that's when the improv got mad at me. They're like, why are you over there for $5?
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know, you never offer me the other room. I don't know.
Right. Isn't it crazy that there's so many rooms, so many comics, so much available for people to see.
Yeah.
And then it just shows end up standing out for whatever reason, how you book it, the feel of the room, the person running it, how it gets promoted. Sometimes things just take. And if you look at another night, another time, another room, it might be like offering something similar, but
no one will go to that. Or
people
vice
do not
versa.
attach themselves to it.
Yeah, I wonder what makes it go. Like Meltdown became like a cool vibe, cool hangout.
Right, which they're ending now.
Are they really?
Yeah, he just announced it.
Oh,
yeah.
Why? They won't do other stuff.
I forget what he said. Yeah, I think he just was like, it was great, and he just felt it was time, maybe.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, everyone was like sounding off like, oh,
you could go there and hang out. You'd have to be on. You'd be like, just sit.
And I never got to go. I always wanted to go. Yeah, both to watch or possibly perform. I actually hung out and met Kumail this year at the Comic Con in San Diego.
Yeah,
we hung out with it was us, and we hung out with the guys from Pied Piper. I'm going to say what's
Pied Piper
of Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
And we had such a blast, and I ended up going to his Meltdown show out there, like one in San Diego.
Oh, nice!
And I was like, I can't wait to go see the show in person.
Yeah, it's a cool place to hang out. And if you didn't know anybody in the green room, you'd be like, I'll just go into the room and watch like top level comedy for a while.
Yeah,
it's cool.
And now I'll never be able to do it.
Oh, that's so
that's
sad.
like what happened when I got a little bit of public. Like when people when the show first came out, I was like, the only way I'm gonna try and use this is because I never was like, I'm gonna use the popularity of it to do something. I was like, I want to meet Sherman Hemsley
from Good Times,
George Jefferson.
Okay. No, not Good Times. What was that show?
The Jeffersons. I was like,
why Sherman Hemsley?
Because like he was one of my idols growing up.
Really?
Yeah, like he was like one of my first. Arguably my biggest comedic influence.
Sherman Hemsley?
Yes, that's right.
From 227?
No.
Was he in 227?
No, he was also in Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, 227 is Marla Gibbs.
Okay.
Right?
Which one was Amen?
Amen,
oh, yeah,
he played Deacon Fry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his daughter was in love with the other. Yeah, it was good. Amen, he never really, but it was still.
It didn't take off.
But it was. I loved him. But George Jefferson. I used to watch the Jeffersons. I used to live with my grandparents, and I used to watch the Jeffersons with my grandfather. We watched. It just brought us together, and I thought it was so funny. And they filmed shows differently back then. You felt like you were watching a play almost.
Yeah, for sure, right?
And you felt the audience like watch. At least it felt like this to me. You felt the audience react and watch, and it didn't feel canned. Like you heard like their crazy reactions, and it kind of just looked like they were filming a play. Yeah. And it resonated with me, and I just thought he was the funniest fucking guy. And so I started to do impressions of him.
Sherman Hemsley?
Yeah, and then I used to get a notebook and try my best to write transcripts of the episodes. And then I used to memorize those, and then I used to perform all the characters for like my family, like my grandparents, like at like dinner and stuff like that. And then I like was doing it so much I started doing it in third grade. I would get up in front of the class and like perform like little like vignettes of Jeffersons.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I always wanted to meet him, and then he fucking died. He was like, it was like a meltdown,
and you never
all
got
over
to.
again, or to begin with.
Give me some Sherman Helmsley.
Yeah. No, I mean now it's like, I mean, it was cute when I was in third grade. I would be like, did you watch the show?
Yeah, for sure, man.
So you know,
it was
like
on reruns every day.
Yeah. So he always had this thing like with Florence.
He was so racist to that upstairs neighbor.
Oh yeah.
It was so like, you fucking man who married out of your race.
Yeah.
Oh no, more like the girl who mad at the woman for marrying a.
Oh, there was. I mean, it was totally like out on Front Street. It was honky.
Yeah, honky. That's right.
Everything. Well, because it's a spinoff from All in the Family.
Yeah.
Which, and by the way, I mean, this is not like any, but you go watch any episode of that right now, it's fucking jaw dropping.
How racist it is.
They say things on there that right now would literally halt the Earth's spinning.
Every blogger would be like, "Well, I gotta write about this."
It's insane. But then it was just like, it was intense, those shows. But yeah, and then I would be like, so him and Florence, like, they always went at each other because she was like this shitty maid. Like, so I wouldn't remember, like, there was no like pausing TV, so I would only catch like 2 or 3 lines. So like, I wouldn't be able to do like full scenes, but like sometimes I would remember them. But it would be like, I would just get quips. So he'd be like, Florence, your cooking tastes like dog food. And then she'd be like, that's because I'm cooking for a chihuahua. Because he was short, and they always made fun of that. So I would just like remember like bits like that. I'd be like, end scene. I would just like 2 lines, and then I would like do another one. But it was like weird though, because it was like heated. Like a lot of the topics on the Jeffersons were fucked up. There was like they tackled the KKK. They tackled like black on black crime.
Really?
They tackled like
I don't remember
poverty, unemployment, like theft. All this. Yeah, that was. I mean, it was good. It was really good. Really
I remember
good.
the few episodes where he tried to take care of like local youth.
Yeah,
who was like troubled. He would go down to the basketball courts.
Yeah,
that looked like a soundstage.
Right.
You know,
it's so good. It's if you go. I
don't know anybody's favorite show was a Jefferson. I like Sanford and Son. That was my
too.
jam.
I like that too.
But yeah, all those shows were on every night.
Every night on WPIX. Check where I was, and it was on 11:30. Yeah. I watched it every single night. So I was catching it like in syndication, actually.
Yeah.
But that was when I hit my stride with it. Yeah. But if
I bet you I can jump from here to there. And the guy just like hops all the way, and then it's like
I have all the DVDs now, so I'll just like toss it in and watch like a DVD.
Yeah.
I'll watch like 4 or 5 episodes in a row.
I taped every episode of The Simpsons and had it all on VHS until DVDs came out, and then it was like, why am I?
I did that with
holding
Seinfeld.
all these fucking tapes
every night. I used to deliver pizza, and I used to get out. It was supposed to close at 11, but like if it was slow at 10:30, we would start like mopping and cleaning, and I'd live right by that, so I would race home to get home in time for the Seinfeld syndication at 11.
Yeah,
and I would record the 11
and mark it on the fucking side thing which one it was
every episode, and I would write my own. I'll tell you what I did too. I would write the episode, but then I had a corresponding notebook.
Yeah, you got to have that. I had that too.
So, because I would write what happened in the episode. I would just write like George dash and what George did, Jerry dash and what Jerry did.
Oh, so, really? Each character's arc?
Just the 4 of them, because it was different everyone. And I would want to know which one because you had to fast forward. Like if it was like 8-hour tape and I wanted to watch that episode, I want to know which one was which. Right. I couldn't do it by just saying the letter.
Right.
Just writing the name of the episode or whatever. So I would like that. Yeah.
That's what it was in The Simpsons. I remember the one episode that was like multiple things was they went to Itchy and Scratchy Land.
I feel like I didn't
get into it.
I did when it came out on Fox in like 90. I did like the first 2 or 3 seasons, which people say are like not even the best season. They're the worst.
It's good after that. 4, 5, 6, 7,
I didn't do it. Is it still on right now?
It is. I just saw it on the plane, and it was like I was probably the last one to give up on it of all my friends.
Yeah.
It's just a kid's show now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
So it's gone through different iterations.
Yeah. It was like real.
Because it started as a kid show, I felt.
Well,
an adult, but it wasn't like
adult kid. It
wasn't when it first started. It wasn't what it became.
No, it wasn't what it became, but it was also on at prime time.
Right.
So it wasn't like on daytime, and it was when it started. It was part of Tracy Ullman.
Right. That I remember completely.
And that was very adult.
Yeah. Yeah. That was just like a 2-minute like
Yeah,
thing,
every
right?
once in a while, here or there.
But what season are they in now? They have to be in 20 something, right?
25,
Longest
26.
running show ever? No, not
No,
that's on
America.
SNL.
Yeah.
Yeah. 25. Because South Park just started 20.
Yeah.
And it's
And where
better
this
than
episode's-
ever.
Jesus, it is. Season 19 was amazing.
Yeah.
I had to put out a press release for this not happening. They're like, what, do you have a quote? And I was like, yeah, I'm really excited to get, whatever, returning people, new guys, and, And I was like, listen, nothing I ever do is going to be as good as South Park season 19, but I gave it my all. And I
You said that?
Yeah, and I put out something decent.
Yeah. Nobody,
season's great,
nobody
too.
does what they do. Nobody. Not with the turnaround that they do it. And then you know how like a great comic like will literally can talk about anything.
Yeah.
Can talk about anything. They do it the smart way. They skewer it. Even I've like when comics say like people like sometimes comics will challenge themselves to like get the crowd against them just to get them back. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like South Park does that. It's like that version of television.
Yeah. To be like, what can we do? Yeah, it's almost like they're contrarian. So, like, we're going to take the side that you guys all don't think we should
Exactly
take.
right.
We're still going to make you laugh.
Right. And still say something too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like it's banging it's so many different levels at the same exact time. Yet it's so simple as well.
Oh, right.
Does that
They
make
also had, like,
sense?
the stupid kid stuff.
Yeah.
Like Cartman's still just a bully.
Yeah.
Who hates his, like, Jewish, like,
It's
classmate.
and it's like everyone has finally just laid off them. Like even right now, you don't hear anyone. It won't stick. It won't take.
Right.
No one
'Cause
can.
People are like, stop. South Park's amazing.
Bulletproof.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. For a while, they were getting really shit on,
Yes.
and then it became so good that people were like, "You guys, we all thought
It's
that
above you.
We're wrong.
Yeah.
They let them do what they want."
No dumb blog. Nothing can write something that will
They had
change
a
anyone's
Virgin
minds.
Mary bleeding out of her asshole.
Doesn't
It's like,
matter.
yeah, man. So, yeah, sorry.
I don't even know who else has that kind of. Who else can do it?
It's at the point where I have to get like for my show, I have to get like precedences set. Like if they're like, you can't say that word on whatever.
Oh,
if
yeah.
I can show them like it was actually said on a Tosh.0 episode, and you didn't bleep that. Then they go, oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Oh, you can drill down that far with them?
Yeah, you can go.
Oh,
for
we
it.
didn't. We never do that.
Yeah, I mean, if I want to fight for like this word or whatever,
Right.
not to bleep it. Depends how much I want to fight, you know.
Sure, like Amy got pressed for getting pussy on, right?
Yeah. So now that Amy's got it on, I can get pussy on.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I wanted Kike on once, and they're like, "No, you say it in a really,
God, South
very
Park.
angry-" Yeah, I was like, "But South Park says it," and they're like, "Nah, they're different."
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Even on the same network?
Yeah, they're like they do whatever they want. They're also cartoon. It doesn't any other
Right.
precedent except for South Park.
Did you ever see the South Park Aristocrats?
What is that?
You know the Aristocrats?
The movie?
Yeah, well, not the Aristocats. The Aristocrats, the joke, the documentary that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, because it was no when you said the
Oh yeah,
mo-
Aristocats.
when you
I remember
said
that.
when you said the movie, I thought you were just like you mean like the kids movie. Yeah, well, South Park had a joke on that. They animated their own
Really?
version of it. Oh, it's fucking nuts.
Really?
I mean that movie. That doc's got to be about 15 years old now. But it's if you could pull it's
Dude, I remember when everybody came out on my friend because they just started comedy. My friend's like, "So is that something they do?" And I was like, "No." Right. I have worked in comedy clubs for 2 years now. That is not something that's around. Nobody's going to like, "Hey, come over here. I got my Aristocrats joke."
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
So I used to work at a bar that I managed for years, and then later I bought a bar, and I had comedy every Tuesday night at my bar. That's how I met most of my comic friends that are in New York right now. And we did an Aristocrats night. We did it 2 or 3 times. So we'd ask comics to come and we'd do it
Come
live.
and say some horrible joke.
We would do the Aristocrats live, and everyone would do their version.
I like that.
Yeah, it was cool.
I like that.
Yeah, you got to watch
You got
that.
some dark ones.
Yeah, we did we had dark ones, we had weird ones. It was fun. Like everyone tried to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because eventually, like, this is gonna be the same as what everyone else puts in.
Right.
We used to have it at an open mic. If anybody, this is kindness to strangers. The coffee shop was closed down, but it was like if anybody yelled out, I think they stole this from somebody, but if anybody yelled out pumpkin pie, you just had to be like pumpkin pie, and they're like, what's the difference between pumpkin pie and pussy, something like that, and then you just had to like say one, you know?
Oh, like on the spot, you just have
Yeah.
to be ready for one.
Yeah, like your mother's pumpkin pie tastes good, or something. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. Whatever.
But wait, if pumpkin pie came up on its own from
No, someone would just yell out. If you pause too long, somebody will be like, pumpkin pie.
All right,
Pumpkin pie.
That's funny.
Yeah,
It's
it was
stupid.
fun. It was stupid. Yeah,
Right.
everybody like.
But I like their like immediate reaction, like pumpkin pie. Like you jump right on board with it, like without
Somebody just say pumpkin pie.
Stop me if you heard this one.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is never gonna work. None of these pens are gonna.
What are you
work.
trying to write?
Trying to write little notes for myself. Yes, to drop in that South Park thing.
Oh yeah, the South Park Aristocrats. Yeah. Cartman tells it. It's of course, but it's like it's when I first heard it. Maybe now it's a little less. It's not really less taboo, but
The thing is, South Park set the line, and they keep pushing the line.
Yeah.
So now you look at old South Park, you're like, eh.
So in his Aristocrats, I kind of don't want to give it away,
Yeah.
but he again this
Go
was
ahead, I'll drop it in like a minute ago.
yeah. Well, he brings up 9/11,
Oh, really?
but so when this was made though was.
Right after.
Well, I don't know if it was right after. I should find out. Let me see.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was right after, but it's certainly like, let's say it was 10 years ago. It's a little more,
Yeah, it
you
hurts
know,
more.
a little more edgy than it would be now. Because I remember when I heard it, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. It's weird how time really makes something like too much. When people are like, that's not funny. You're like, nah, it's just my line is different than yours.
Right. To 2005.
2005. it
So
came out.
11 years. It was only 4 years.
So they were
you
doing
know,
it for 3.5, 4 years
yeah,
afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like, and the way that he does it is like, it's crazy. I want you to see it so you can.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just pause.
You want to?
Pause here.
You guys want to hear a funny joke my grandpa told me? No? Okay, so this family walks into a talent agency. It's a mother, father, their son and daughter, and a little baby. The father says, "Sir, our family has an amazing act." And the talent agent says, "Sorry, we don't sign family acts. They're too cutesy." But then the mother goes, "Please, sir, if you just give us 2 minutes, we know you'll like our act." So the talent agent says, "All right, you've got 2 minutes." The family jumps right into it. Thrilling circus music starts to play as the father spins his daughter around, bends her over, lifts up her skirt, and starts licking her asshole. What? Then the son lays down on the floor and opens his mouth, and the mother squats down over his face and starts shitting all over him. Dude! Hold on. The father grabs the baby, takes off his diaper, and starts sucking his cock, right? While the son, still with his mother's shit in his mouth, goes over and licks the baby's tiny little balls. Dude. Hold on, cop. Then the father and son take the baby and start stuffing it head first back into the mother's vagina. Dude, just stop. Hold on, cop. They get the baby halfway in so that just his legs are sticking out, all kicking and flailing around. The son takes the mother's shit out of his mouth and starts rubbing it all over everyone, while the father sticks his cock in the baby's asshole and fucks it while it's still inside the mother, until he comes all over the baby, the wife, and the son, and the daughter.
Cartman, I don't want to...
Cop! Hold on, please. Then the father gets up and says, "And now for our impersonation of the victims of 9/11. And the whole family starts running around the room covered with shit and piss and cum going, "Ah! Ah! The building's coming down! Help!" And the family runs back to the center of the room and goes, "Ta-da!" And the talent agent, he just sits there. And finally he says, "Jesus, that's a hell of an act. What do you call it?" And the father says, "The Aristocrats."
I don't get it.
Neither do I.
So, like, what I was saying was, we just watched it. So, what I was saying was, like, so 3 years after, right?
Yeah.
It's not even like a reference to, like, he didn't just say 9/11. He's like, now for our impressions of the victims
Victims of 9/11.
and
running
then,
around.
Oh my god! The buildings are coming down. That's fuck. Like that was like when I saw it, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, people were still coughing at that point.
That is insane. And I mean, I laughed. You know, I mean, I was like, the best part of the whole thing is like, hold on. I'm like,
Hold on. Dude, stop. He's like, hold on. He just kept doing it. All right, hold on.
and that didn't even like they're just untouchable.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call. I never saw that.
Yeah.
I never saw the whole movie. So anyway, here's what I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, you have stuff in mind?
Yeah.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah. Well, when I introduced you at my show, whose story is out
Will this be out in time?
maybe. I think your story is coming out this. Yeah. Anyway, no, for sure it will be. I'm going to put it up tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
So your story will be out next week, I guess. Thursday, the 13th.
Yeah. Season
11:59.
premiere.
Season premiere. And your YouTube story will be out, I think, a day or two before that.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Unless maybe it's that day. I don't know, but That's the one to see anyway. But TV too, for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. But when I brought you up, I was like, the best thing to come out of Staten Island. And the place went, I forgot they knew you were on, and I forgot how much people actually knew you were from Staten Island. The place went crazy. I had to like stop. I was like, wait, what?
I know. That was comforting. 'Cause I
Yeah.
was like, I knew I can get up and just be completely at ease.
Oh, home crowd at that point.
Yeah, home crowd,
they're down.
Yeah.
I used to get that when I would do Rogan gigs, and he would like bring me up. He would go on the God mic ahead of time.
Yeah.
And it was like, fuck, a lot of these people don't even know there's an opener, you know?
Right.
And then sometimes he'd be like, please welcome a friend of mine. It would help. But sometimes like, please welcome a friend of mine. You know him from this. And people are like, yeah. Like you just hear enough. You're like, oh, all right.
Right.
Oh, they know me. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was nice of you to say too. I don't because there's a lot of funny people from Staten Island.
Are there?
Yeah, I think so.
Who's come out of Staten Island? Who are the big names from Staten Island?
For comics,
In general.
well, in general,
Well,
or
who are the comics? Yeah.
I guess Pete Davidson came out of Staten Island.
Okay.
Colin Jost.
Okay.
Yeah, those are two of my friends. Colin especially is a good friend of mine.
Really?
Yeah, those guys are
Okay.
really, really funny. And my boys, like half the people, well,
Those
I
are
guess
celebrities.
half the people that are on my show and most of the people that write are on it were from Staten Island. They're my friends.
Did you try to hire all your buddies from back then?
Yeah. I don't try. I mean, yes, I try to, but they completely deserve to be there. Like I was like,
Right.
I don't need someone with a long resume, because we would send out like to get writers each season. We try to like turn them over every season or so. Like we would send out, and I would get
Send the
everything.
writers over every season?
Yeah, every
new
season,
ideas.
season and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
At first, it was like every half season, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But then it was like every season or so, depending. And we get like this pool of such talented people. Like I get a lot of stand-ups submitted, a lot of like UCB like sketch folk that are really like good with like line. You know? And then I would always be like, well, every year I'd pick like a handful of my friends that I just thought was smart and funny and knew that made me laugh and knew our show, knew like our sensibility. Because I was like, I think you guys could do this too, you know, like, and every year, like they were just as good as anybody else. And
That's cool.
I would be like, well, if they're just as good, so we would take we would take the names. I would even start doing it, to be fair. Like I'd be like, take the names
Off the
of the packets.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can get around misogyny. Those
Yeah.
people are like, you don't hire enough women. It's like, look, we don't know who we're hiring.
Right.
That's the only way you can get around
We
it.
would take it off, and we actually hired. There was always a different female writer almost every year that was great, and we hired and it was like by chance, like I said,
Really?
we took the
Yeah.
names off, and I'd be like, all right, these are like my favorite 10 or 5 packets, and then they'd show me then we look at the names and be like, all right, and it was like if one of my friends who has no experience impressed me as someone who had experience, I'm like, I'm gonna give the
Of
job
course.
to a
Plus,
friend.
you get it cheaper, and it's a buddy.
Yeah.
And also, there's chemistry. Once you know somebody's stuff,
Yeah.
it's so much easier to write for them than fucking.
Yeah, there was like no learning curve, you know? And also I feel I could be it's just a more loose, familiar room. You could say things more directly to people. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like it's also a shorthand. You know, if I put a friend on that I've been friends with for 10 years, 15 years, we have a shorthand already. You know what I mean? It's like there's not any.
Whenever I do at midnight, they always tell me to. The big note to me is less abortion jokes. But they have these writers that are just writing jokes for everybody. And
Right.
guys like Rob Riggle, whoever, those guys would be like, yeah, just give me some jokes, and I'll just be up here having a good time. But I'm like, I'm going to do jokes that are like more specifically that I would find funny.
Right.
So I just bring my buddies to come in with me.
And just shoot the shit and write a bunch.
Yeah, and they know that's what I'm into, and they write me like awful things.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And
That's
they're like, do less awful things. I'm like, nah.
Right. I haven't done at midnight yet. I was gonna like approach them and ask if I could, but I don't think they've approached us. But I knew one of my friends was writing on it at one point, and we were like, "Oh, it'd be fun to get us on." But I
yeah,
actually want to
sure.
go on solo. But I did Comedy Knockout recently. That's on True Show, and it was like a similar setup where they have a team of writers that literally write, and you could just pluck, and you could
Whatever
go
you want.
on and use 100% of theirs.
Yeah.
I wrote 100% of my own lines.
Right.
I think
That's what Mike Lawrence does. Mike Lawrence is like, I can't take anything you wrote. Like,
yeah, and nothing against them. Like some of the lines are funny, but I was like, well, why not represent myself? I'm representing myself on the show.
Yeah.
So I mean, because anyone could go on and deliver someone else's lines.
Yeah.
But I'm playing to win, so I was going to play from myself. So I think Big J gave me a couple of great ones, and that was really it. The rest I did myself.
Yeah. So you still live in Staten Island?
I do, yeah.
Why does it have such a reputation as such a fucking garbage dump?
Well, it used to be the world's largest garbage dump.
Physically?
Literally.
Yeah.
We
Is
had-
that where we used to dump all our stuff?
Yeah, we had the world's biggest landfill that you can see from space. Yeah. Closed 10, 15 years ago, and we've been shipping everything out now.
To who wants garbage?
I should probably know that, and I definitely did know it at one point, but I can't give you an answer now. But the land mass that was the garbage dump is being turned into, I think, like the Earth's biggest park. Like, I think it is. It's
Really?
Yeah. I mean, again, I feel like
They're putting soil over it, and then they're just
like
going to like
green,
make it beautiful.
It's going to be like the gorgeous thing, and I think they like had to test it and everything. Although I
Because they
don't
want
feel
kids playing like sliding in a second and getting a needle stuck in them.
I don't feel no, or like whatever is coming out of that soil after being the world's largest dump. I mean, I don't know if it's anything toxic, but I'm sure they had to pass. You know, I'm sure it's just like, again, a quick Google. I'm sorry I don't have hard facts for you.
Right.
But it used to be that. And then I think it's just like, I don't know. It's like,
The women with that high hair thing, that was a Staten Island like invention. That was one of your chief
Staten
exports.
Island
those
and
bangs.
Staten Island and Long Island and parts of Brooklyn were very, very parallel to each other. And yeah, they get, and whatever was put in the media, the press, whatever was like out in the zeitgeist about us was always mafia, very Cugini type of stuff and Goodfellas type thing. And so that's predominantly the stereotype we get. And it's there.
Was that the suburb of mafia? Was that where they were like, they left like Brooklyn and New York?
Brooklyn goes to Staten Island, yeah. And then Staten Island people have migrated to Jersey. Now, but and we have that. We do have it.
Yeah.
But just like anywhere else, there's different neighborhoods completely, and there's like there's cool artsy. It's small comparatively. I think it's like maybe 700,000 people, maybe something like that. 600,000 people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 14 miles by 7 miles, but it's definitely the most suburby of any of the boroughs, without a doubt.
I used to go there. My friend, a Jewish friend.
Yeah.
Or like sleepaway camp or yeshiva, he'd be
Yeah.
there, so I'd go there and visit him, and it was like, really, it is like suburby.
It is. I mean, now more and more there's less, less green and stuff like that. But it is the most of the boroughs. It's the least densely populated of the boroughs, and it has the most. There's reasons for stereotypes, I suppose, but it's still like it's not a heaping pile of shit. The other thing is like we're not connected by subway.
You're not connected.
So that's why it's like you get left out. Like if you're not driving over a bridge and you have to take a 25-minute boat ride, it's like I don't need to be there. If I don't have to be there, why am I going? A lot of people always tell me,
be in the city.
If I don't have to be in Staten Island, there's no reason for me to go over there.
Oh, you mean people from here?
There is no reason.
Right.
We get tourists that'll take the free ferry to pass the Statue of Liberty and come back. It's a great ride. It's free. You could drink beer on it. It's cool.
Oh, yeah?
It's really cool. But most people are like, oh, I've never been. I only been through Staten Island, passing through it to get to Jersey or whatever. Like, So it's not like we have our own little like. Whenever you see us written up and like a claim to like, oh, we have stuff to offer. It's like the top 20 things all the time. You know what I mean? It's like there's some cool shit, but you could see it all in a day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Is there like a level of isolation because of that ferry?
Yeah, there is. That's why the waterfront that we have hasn't been built up like Long Island City or Williamsburg or anything like that because it's about transportation. Yeah. So you want to inhabit the closest place to the city that's the cheapest but still be able to get there. And there's a stigma with just a ferry instead of a train. But now they're starting to build. Now it's going to become that. They're starting to build up all by our ferry. All new hotels, high rises, restaurants. They're putting the world's largest Ferris wheel.
What's world's largest? It's like, what, guys? What are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you doing?
700 feet high, and it's right outside of. We have Yankee Stadium now, the Yankees minor league team.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be right on top of that, and like so they're building up.
I would ride that Ferris wheel.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. It's going to be all that. So now that what they're doing is they're upping the ferry service to every 15 minutes, and they're putting all these fast ferries, these pay ferries. So they're trying to make it like the
more
next
accessible.
The next big.
It's going to change things
boom.
then, huh?
Down there, I think it probably will. Because if you go to the other end of the island, which is known as that's the North Shore. If you go to the South Shore, it's more like You know, like, you know, the people have yards and
Guidos.
it's yeah more like that. I mean, my family is like, you know, my dad's family is all Italian, and you know, you have old school Italian, and then you have the younger new kids that came up with, like, you know, like TV and stuff. It's like this, you know, that's like more of a Jersey Shore type of style.
Yeah.
Although I haven't seen that in a while. I think that kind of like really got popular, and then it kind of went away a little bit.
That
But
awful like lifestyle, which is like starting bar fights and fucking drinking and
yeah, but I
get laid in the
don't really
streets.
think it's that much. I mean, I there is a level. This is like a beautiful.
It's amazing, right? I've been
Yeah,
looking
what is
at it.
this?
I know it's my Apple screensaver. It's just fucking gorgeous. Where is this?
Is that real?
Yeah, I think it's real because they do these shots in like slow motion. I think they come over stuff.
Every once in a while, I just notice myself getting mesmerized by it,
I mean,
losing
it's
my train
gorgeous.
of thought.
Sometimes you have cityscapes. I don't know what this one is, but with the way I want to go there.
It's unbelievable. But what I was saying was, there's a bit of like, do you know who I am?
They do have that.
Yeah, but
That's
I mean,
Italian. That's the worst part of Italian.
yeah, it is. But I don't see
I'll
it
come
all
back
the
there.
time. But
You know-
but every place has that. Go down to like Little Italy and like get into an altercation over a parking spot. Someone will say that.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, you know what I mean. But it's also not like that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's mostly not that. It's the vocal minority. Probably
correct.
kind of thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
And also, you know, it is a lot of, and not that there's anything wrong with this, but I don't fall solely on either side. I'm more democratic, but there is a lot of, I feel, I don't know if I'm generalizing, but I have witnessed a lot of kind of closed-mindedness.
In Staten Island.
Yeah, I would say.
What do you mean? In what ways?
I don't know, just kind of set in your ways of thinking. Maybe people will call it quote unquote old school, or people will just, you know, maybe they're just more conservative or whatever. And again, that's not everywhere, because I basically came up in a very like, I spent my time in a very like liberal artsy area.
Yeah.
You know, like our like downtown area or whatever. It's like a lot of like artists, musicians, like and stuff like that. But you do see, like, you know, I mean, it's the only borough, I think, of the city that is conservative majority.
Bill Burr had a bit about it where he's like, talked to some guy who's like old school racist. And they're like, no, that's not the way things are done. And you just want to be like, it's just because they've never traveled or seen things. And you want to be like, oh no, man, it's not like that.
Right,
I know you
right.
think that, but that's just not how it is.
Right,
You just
right.
haven't seen stuff.
Right.
You know?
But then it's also, you get like the best of both worlds. You get just great blue collar people too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and again, not that there's not everything there, but I'm just saying, like, you know, a lot of cops, a lot of firemen, Irish, Italian, like that. But, you know, like blue collar families that, like, you know, are just like real characters. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
really like authentic to who they are. Even if some people want to stereotype them, I as long as it's authentic, I like it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind it.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Like when somebody's like trying to be that Italian thing.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, stop it.
Right,
You know?
right.
Like you know Mike Racine?
Yeah.
So he wore this leather jacket
On Conan?
And it was not a joke. It was just like, he's
Isn't
like,
it the best?
I look good. I look good.
I
It's
saw
like,
it.
You fucking Guido. You know?
Oh, he had a chain too. He
Yeah.
owns that though. Mike's great. Yeah.
But he wears a tracksuit like, all right, I got some money. I got some nice clothes. And you're like, dude, that would be a costume for me.
right.
You know? Yeah, he's doing it legitimately.
And you have to. I love
Yeah,
it.
you
About
gotta
it.
love that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and then like, you know, it's old school too. Like my family, like they all lived literally, like my dad's family all lived on the same 2 blocks.
Really?
And I'm talking like cousins, aunts, uncles, extended, like 15 houses within 2 blocks. And that's how they grew up, like on the same block. And like my grandma had pigeon coops, you know, like,
Whoa.
so it's old school town, you know what I mean? It was like off the boat, come over here.
So his family like really big
My
in
great-grandma.
Staten Island?
Yeah.
Really important or no?
What's that?
Is family really important in Staten Island? Or
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I would say so. Yeah, there's a lot of nurturing too, I feel. Like a lot of that's one of the things, like you call it depends on the perspective, right? So a lot of family, a lot of like nurturing. Like when I say nurturing, could be good and bad. It's like, you know, families hold their kids like close to the vest in a way that is like, you know, it's great because it's like family nurturing stuff. But then it also is that thing where it's like, I feel people like don't really become like you look worldly and independent as soon as they could, because it's like they're nurtured so
coddled
much.
and like
coddled.
yeah.
Yeah.
They say Jewish women aren't good at blowjobs because their dads tell them all they're princesses. Princesses just don't swallow cum. It's just not a thing a princess does. That makes sense. What is?
I should say. I mean, I love Staten Island. I rep it every time I can.
For sure you do.
Like I say that I am from Staten Island every chance I get. I put it out there in the media. I wear like I try to wear like Staten Island brand like businesses and Staten Island just on my shirt like anytime I can.
Is there like SI Pride?
Yes, there is.
There is.
And I have it because I want to represent like everything that I think is good from Staten Island, everything that made me who I am, all the people that I love that are from there.
Yeah.
Because like again, I think it just gets a bad rap for some reason.
For sure.
So like
And
I'm
all
happy. I'm at least to try to be someone who might
Represents it well?
Yeah. I hope so. At least. I hope so.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like trying to be like, oh, I'm the representative of Staten Island. I'm the mouthpiece of Staten Island, but I'm not gonna like. I'm gonna be proud that I'm from there, and then just like put it out there. Like, if you want to associate me with Staten Island, that's something good. Do it. You know, like.
Yeah.
Like you were very back to how you introduced me. Well, actually, I don't know. You said he's probably. Oh no, you said it. No, you didn't say the only good thing to come out of.
I
Staten
might have
Island.
said the only good thing, or I might have said the best thing.
No. You know, I know what you said. You said he's probably the funniest thing to come out of Staten Island,
Okay.
which is fine for both of us.
Okay.
Me and Staten Island. It would because if I would have went up, if you would have said he's probably the only good thing to come out of Staten Island, that I would have probably immediately been like, oh, ew. That's not nice. I don't want to accept that as an introduction because then I accept it. That means I'm with you on that one.
I love that
Imagine I
applause
jump up.
you
I'm like, hey, it's me, the only good thing.
That's great. What is dating like in Staten Island? How long have you been with your girl? I don't want to say her name. I don't know how public you are with it.
I'm not public at all, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've never even mentioned it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you? I mean, is it more than 5-6 years?
Well,
More than 10 years?
no, I was in a relationship for like over a decade.
And you left her for this girl?
No,
You cheated on her multiple times with this current girlfriend?
No, not I
You
didn't.
slept with her in her bed?
Yes, all
You
those
took
things.
this girl to your ex-girlfriend's bed and defiled it? Oh my God, Sal. That's crazy.
I never talk about any of. I was only like 2 or 3 long-term relationships, but I never talk about them ever.
Okay.
Literally, I never ever talk about them.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't like to.
Yeah.
It's something I was like, I did before television. Like I would be completely open.
Yeah.
But like after it, I started to learn that privacy isn't respected. And if I wanted to keep a certain level of it, I have to actively make choices that way. And so I get asked all the time, like, do I have a wife? Do I have a kid? Do I have a girlfriend? And there's been times when I was asked that I did have a girlfriend and times when I didn't. But I never answer it differently. I'm just like, I don't really talk about it.
Right.
Yeah. And then it's like, it's weird too. Like, I hate publicizing, because even now it's like, let's say I'm with somebody and then that's what everyone knows. And then I'm not with them.
Then
it's like,
asks
everyone
you.
has to know. And then it's
Yeah.
a thing. Then it's like, oh, we have this information and it got taken away from us. So what's the new thing?
I
And
feel bad for celebrities who have to, like, when they go on
Real
a date,
celebrities.
Just a date. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Actual.
You know, actual,
Yeah.
you know.
But like stars, let's say.
Yeah.
But like they go on a date and everyone's like, oh, they've been seen together, and it's like, if just as a human level, they must be like, I don't know, man, I went out with her once.
Right.
You're
Right.
making us dating now.
Yeah.
Give it like 5 or 6 dates before you like force it into a.
That'll never ever change. So that has to either be accepted or you have to find a workaround. And I even do the same thing with my family. I don't talk about my family. I mean, on stage I do.
Yeah.
But like I don't like post family photos,
Yeah,
videos.
Kreischer shows videos of his daughter and that shows her name, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, really?
Yeah, I think you know what it is too, though. Maybe if I was in a different situation, I would. But the way that our show plays out, we play ourselves pretty accurately on the show. I mean, we exaggerate a little bit and stuff like that, but we turn on the cameras and that's it. And because of that, and now going on this many years, people really, really feel familiar with us, and it's good and bad.
Right.
It's good because there's a connection that you can't like buy. It really is. It's just it's a
'Cause
loyalty.
They know you, not just some character you're playing.
It's so if I was like an actor, let's say, and I was known as much as I am now, but as an actor, when someone sees an actor on the street, they don't know that person at all.
Right.
They know the person's work, but they don't feel a familiarity. There's a filter.
Yeah.
So with me, they just know me. They know Sal. They know what my likes, dislikes, my hang-ups. They know what makes me laugh, what I hate. They know all about me. You know, if I put my family on the show, they know my family. They know about everything. And it's just like, that's Sal. I know him.
Yeah.
So there is no filter. So, and that's really cool because like there's a bond when I meet people that's immediate. That's fucking great. But the other thing is that like I also don't. You kind of don't know me a little bit, so I don't want to talk about my family. I don't want to talk about if I'm dating anyone, like that kind of thing. And
It's like you know the details of you, but not what you'd be into. You know?
Yeah.
Like not be like, oh, not right now. You know, it's like if you knew me, you'd know to like just
Right,
I don't want to dance right now.
Yeah, and the show spans like a lot of ages,
Yeah.
and it also like there's like tweens into it too.
What do you mean?
Like teenage, like whatever they call like the tweens. I don't know what they call.
Oh,
like,
the people who
like
watch the
young,
show.
young teenagers or what have you. And those are the people that literally I feel they're like the freaking anonymous. I think those are the kids that like they are the most fluent in the internet.
Yeah.
Like I even feel like right now, like I didn't get a computer and didn't go on the internet until like after college. I was in my 20s. But like, and I thought I like at one point I had a grasp, but I currently feel technology escaping me. I feel it right now at 39. Like all this like
Passing you by.
right now
Yeah.
I start to feel like what is that? Like not even with apps, but just like what shit can do now.
Yeah.
Like I kind of can't be bothered. Like I learned a certain amount of it, and now when there's something new, it's like, all right, I have more important things to do. And I have felt a slip in my knowledge. But the kids now, like a 15-year-old,
They know it by heart, everything.
Yes. And the internet is a little dangerous, like I feel in a way, like especially for privacy. And like one thing that I am fucking hung up on is I can't stand the shift we made in society where everything is instant video and pictures and nobody has to ask.
Dude, what was that thing that Lewis is always on? Red Band's on all the time?
Yeah.
Where they just put you on video, you're on.
Snapchat.
Not
Is that
Snapchat, it was another one.
Oh, Periscope.
Periscope.
Yeah,
So, like, hey, you're on Periscope. Like, dude, don't do that. I've given you no permission for that.
I know.
I don't want to be on.
I do it with
I'm
friends.
just hanging out.
I know. Don't put me on the Periscope. I say that's live streaming to anyone who will watch. And I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. But at least that's a friend. You tell a friend no, right? You can be like,
Right.
dude, don't do that. What are
Yeah.
you doing? Just fucking take it off me, asshole. But like in the streets, like I'll walk and someone will walk next to me and hold it in my face. And then if I say, can you not do that? They're like, what a dick. And it's like,
as if they own you and you're being a jerk not to.
yeah. And so like that.
It's almost like you took out of a parking spot, you pulled out, and then you stopped and say, hey, no one can park here when I'm gone. This is my parking spot. And that's like, what a dick. You don't get that.
Yeah. But now like even so maybe someone might have a little common sense, but the kids don't. Like kids that are 15, 16, 17, whatever.
Do not.
Not really. And so what they'll do is like you could go like for instance, I try to oblige people if I can, right?
Picture?
If I can, yeah. Like sometimes it's like it's literally impossible. So I have little rules for myself. Like if I'm in the middle of eating at a restaurant with family or friends, I'll say when I'm finished, if you're still here, no problem. Like I won't stop because then if I stop for that person and then the next person comes up, then I'm a dick if I don't stop for them. And where does the line get drawn? Yeah. Or like if I'm like on the phone, people don't get. They'll just come on. I'll say, "Can I wait to get off the phone?"
Just point to the phone.
Yeah, like so I'll do that. Or if I'm walking and someone's like, "Yo, Sal," and like they're like 100 feet away, they're like, "Come
They
here."
call you over, yeah. It's
I'm
like,
like,
no, you
wait,
come
you want me
over
to
here.
stop walking this way? Come back all the way back down. He's like, "Come here, you got to take this picture. Come here." Or they'll just be like, "Wait." So I don't break stride in the street.
Right.
So I'll smile, wave, say thank you so much, whatever. But I won't break stride. That helps a lot. And that's just the rule I made. I'll never stop because also if I stop, I'm stopping all day long.
Yeah.
Right. But if you watch, so I oblige all pictures. So if you went on to Instagram right now and you hashtagged my name, if I took 20 pictures today from when I left my house to now, you can follow literally
Your steps.
chart my day.
Wow.
Right? So you could see me leave my house. You could see me at the corner deli. You could see me get to work where we're filming that day. You could see me go out to dinner after. You could see me on the train home. And you just see where I went.
I like how 2 of the 4 things you said were food related.
You could see me then get dinner,
Yeah.
and then right before I get home, you
for a
could see me
snack.
probably get a snack.
And then almonds to lose weight.
But yeah, and another weird thing that people do is they'll go back and they'll friend friends of mine, and then they'll look for people who aren't public, and then they'll go back years
find
in
them?
their photos, and they'll get photos of me like, I don't know, like from Christmas with my family like 9 years ago, or like my grandmother, or like literally with my girlfriend from like 2004, and they post that stuff, and I know for a fact that stuff is only, you have to go through great lengths to get that, and I don't think that they understand that that's intrusive. I think that they're like, well, I found it and it's public because it wasn't private.
Yeah, it is
so
public.
For me, again, this sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm just kind of like giving you an insight as to something that isn't
Oh, this
great.
is why you don't talk about girlfriends.
Yeah.
Right.
Because another thing is, like, if I'm dating someone, I don't want, because if someone gets a photo of them and then they post it, then, like, it's the internet people, the anonymous internet people, writing 1,000 comments about objectifying this person. And I don't think that that person deserves that.
Yeah.
Whether it's like, oh, that person's beautiful, that person's ugly, that person's fat, that person's skinny, whatever. Like, I
Like,
don't.
Oh, they don't want any of your comments. Even like you're pretty. None of it. Just guys. They don't know you. Just don't talk about them at all.
Yeah, I don't want to subject someone that I might be seeing to that.
Okay. Well, here's my question though.
Yeah.
What's dating like in Staten Island? Like, what are the chicks like in Staten Island?
Everybody is always like once or twice removed from somebody.
Okay, that's how it was in Iceland. Iceland, they had this app where you have to put it in because there's 350,000 people in the country. You have to enter. Well, now you have to, but people are entering their names in this app to see if you're related.
No.
Yeah.
Related.
Yeah, because everyone fucks everybody. In Anchorage, Alaska, any new blood that came in, anytime you go to Anchorage, people are like clamoring to fuck because you're new blood.
You are
and no one else
shitting me.
has
That
it.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
I didn't think of it like that.
yeah. So in Staten Island, is it like everybody's fucked everybody's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend? I mean.
Yeah, I would say like you're not like if you. I put it to you this way: if you go up to a stranger on the street, I feel like there's a high percentage that it'll only take like 5 few minutes to figure out who you're once or twice removed from. I don't know if you fucked someone they fucked, but it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I know him. I went to. It's either because there's only like 10 high schools, maybe 15, but there's only like there's neighborhoods, and it's just people have been there for the long haul too.
Yeah.
It's not like a transplant city like this. So it's like, so someone always knows somebody.
People grew up there, huh?
Yeah, people grew up there, yeah. Like if you like pick a Staten Island resident and I go like right now on Facebook, anybody, I'll definitely have mutual friends.
Really?
In common. Yeah, pretty much. I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
The best and worst thing about me leaving like religious Judaism is the loss of community from my little community that I was in. It was like everyone knew your business, which was like not the greatest, but also everyone kind of took care of you because they knew your business.
Right, right. Yeah, that's how our neighborhoods were. Not Staten Island as on the whole,
Yeah.
but I grew up in a pretty Italian neighborhood. I'm only half Italian, but I grew up in an Italian neighborhood called Rosebank.
What's the other half?
Cuban, Puerto Rican, and
Hear that, bloggers?
Spanish.
Minority booking for This Is Not Happening.
See, yeah, my mom is Cuban, Puerto Rican, and Spanish. But in that was like when my dad's family all lived on the same few blocks, and like everyone's family did. So
Yeah.
like it was like 50 families, wherever it was. But it was like if you're like on this block, someone's mom's looking out the window and she's got an eye on you.
Right. Tell your mother I said hi.
For good or bad. Yeah,
Kind of thing.
that whole kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
That seems
Rosebank
nice.
was like that for sure.
But you really can't get into trouble on the streets. I mean, I could fuck around here on in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
No one would know or
No
not
way.
anyone I know.
There was even a sense when I was younger, especially in Rosebank, if someone was not from the neighborhood, people were like, who's this?
Wow.
Yeah, like what kids wandered in from another neighborhood?
Like Rambo.
Like Sharks and the Jets type of thing like that.
Yeah.
Not like race driven or anything.
Right.
But like you'd be like, oh, these fucking kids aren't from this neighborhood. Or maybe if it was like contentious, or you just kind of knew, like, you know what I mean? Like I think everyone at one point in Rosebank knew each other completely. Damn. So you could walk the complete perimeter and you could crisscross Rosebank in every which way and you knew everybody. And it's, that's kind of crazy. I have no idea if it's like that today. Because back then I spent my summer on a bicycle riding all around the place. We hung out on the street.
Same 7-Eleven.
Same corner, same parking lots, 7-Eleven, same schoolyards, that whole thing. So I'm removed from that now.
Isn't that kind of amazing? Like, I'm trying to think just now as you say that, there's like 2 playgrounds we would go to, and that's it all the time.
All the time.
Now it's like, I go to Tompkins Square Park like twice a month.
Right.
But that was like the same things all the time. Let's go meet at the playground.
Yeah. Well, it's like all we had then was at that point was Nintendo, and then my mom would be like, "You've played too much Nintendo."
Yeah.
She wouldn't let it was like because I would play 8 hours. You know what I mean? I got it in 5th grade. I bought it with my confirmation money, and I was and she'd be like she'd feel the TV, and if it was like hot, she'd be like, and then I would pause it and turn the TV off because there wasn't memory on games in the beginning.
That's right. You had something to scratch every time.
Yeah. But she would force us to go out. But that's it. If you were out, she'd be like, get up and get out, for the day. And in the summers, when you had the summers off, I got up. I was out of the house by 9 a.m, and I had to be back when it got dark.
Dude, that was the biggest problem with Super Mario Brothers. Once you figure out how to get to the final level, you're like, I got to beat this final level. But it took 45 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
Even though you knew all the steps, all the things you had to hit, which times lapse, which time jumps and stuff, it's still like, I got to fucking go. You can't just start at level 9.
No fucking saving. Which is a little bit of the challenge of the game, I guess. I just watched online some kid beat the game world record for the fastest time.
Mario Brothers?
First game, Super Mario Brothers, from the first to the very, very end. It was something insane.
Really?
9 minutes or something like that. He just ran.
Just knew everything.
Yeah.
What's that?
He started crying.
Really?
He think he broke a huge record or something.
I like how he made that the most important thing in his life.
I heard that there is now video game competitions in fucking arenas. So they have them on the main stage and they have it projected, and then they sell tickets just like wrestling, boxing, and 10,000 people come to watch.
So you're watching a Madden fight you would just watch a football game.
Yes, and the two people are playing right down in the center.
Wow.
Someone told me, I was blown away. Someone told me this week that's the level it's at now. They have national competitions and it sells out
People
arenas.
are sponsored for sure, make tons of money off sponsorship.
Yeah, well, you ever hear this thing called Twitch? Oh, I think it's called Twitch.
Yeah, I think so. What is that?
Okay, so what it is, ready? You open a Twitch account and then you play video games. You play video games live. So there's a camera on you playing a video game that's streaming on your channel, and people have to pay money
to watch you play video games?
To watch you play video games. So if you're either really good at video games or really good at commentary and fucking around.
There's that. That's PewDiePie.
That's that guy, and people like him, and they got in on the ground floor, and they're making literally just on that. I heard they're making upwards of $1 million a year.
Damn. That's almost like if I watch somebody play video game live, I'd be like, "Come on, I got next. Please stop playing. I want to play."
I know. Or actually, I'm not good at it anymore. I'll play like sports games, but Q, my buddy Q is he plays real. So I'll sit and I'll watch him play because I can't. He does those games where it's you're in a immersive world, and you're playing for 40 hours straight, and it gets to a level of if you don't have the skill, you can't do it. Right. But it's really cool to watch what they're doing with video games these days. So I'll watch him play Uncharted or something like that, and I'll just sit there and watch it like I'm watching a movie. And I guess that's some of the appeal to that. And then if these people are funny, but.
Do they have old school Twitch where people play Bump and Jump?
I think it's called Twitch, by the way.
Cubert and stuff like that?
I don't know. You might go into that market.
Play some Cubert and have people watch.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you have a built-in audience, which you kind of do.
I probably do, yeah.
I
just don't play video games enough.
I know, but if you could, if you're playing Cubert.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The commentary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I should definitely do that.
Why not? What if you let's say you commit to playing Cubert.
Cubert, Pitfall.
Right. It's 8-bit Twitch or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You commit to doing that for 3 hours a week. What if you end up making a couple grand every time you do it? What the hell?
Yeah. So much drug money. I just think of all the drugs
you're very open with that, right?
Drug use? Yeah.
So you gave me mushrooms for as a gift.
Yeah.
For
this not happening?
Yeah. I did not do that. Okay, so I've never done them.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Hold on. Okay, go ahead. I'm just trying to process like
I've never done them. I've almost did like 3 times, but I got nervous, and so I didn't do them. And then
Wait, did you take them back with you?
no, I was really nervous to get on the plane with them.
They're not looking for mushrooms, and especially the amount I gave everybody.
Yeah.
It was not going to be a problem. You know what Berg did?
I felt super
He
sad.
put it on
that
a salad. He took his out of the pack,
I heard
got a
that.
salad,
I
put it
heard
on
that.
there.
I felt guilty that I didn't bring them back, and I
What'd
was
you do
like,
with them? Throw them away?
No, I definitely, without a doubt, gave them away, but I don't remember.
You gotta
to
find
who.
if you're like not gonna be able, you gotta find a comic to like somebody like here. You want to do these?
I did that.
Okay, that's
I just
good.
can't
That's
remember,
good.
but I definitely did that. But yeah, I
Sal,
just I
why
should
have
do
you not
it
done mushrooms?
because I am afraid. I don't like to feel like I'm not in control.
Okay, I get
Yeah.
that. Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
There will be a loss of control. You won't mind it anymore.
Okay, so here's another thing.
I mean, you get drunk
I went
sometimes, right?
online and yes, I went online and read your thing.
Primer, yeah.
Yeah, I did. I read that whole thing, and I was like, yeah, it sounds well enough. Like it sounds good, but I did it. But I was like, I don't have anyone to do it with. And
What are you talking about? What about her?
Nah,
Why? She won't do it?
I don't know.
You guys are great together. That'd be
Yeah.
a perfect combo.
Yeah.
Or with Jay or something. The group
Yeah.
of us.
Well, the group of you.
UFC 205.
Oh, we're gonna do it. I wouldn't do it that night.
No, that'd be too much
Because
for you.
also
That'd be
I
too much
always
for
hear
you.
that no matter what, there's a throw up stage.
That's not true. That's not no matter what.
I always hear
No, that's
Norman-
Jay
Norman
because he
say-
can't even eat them.
Norman says he throws up.
Norman exaggerates so much. Norman said that when he got chlamydia, I told him just leave it, it'll go away, which I did not tell him. I said 10 days of antibiotics and then it
Right.
goes away. I specifically did not tell him that. And everyone's like, oh, he's so dirty, he still has chlamydia. I'm like, that's not the advice I gave you. And I told him like, hey, you
I think I heard that you said that.
And he goes, yeah, I know. I was just making a joke for
Right,
radio. I was
right,
like,
right.
all right, as long as you still don't have it. But like, no. I've thrown up once ever on mushrooms.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to throw up, you sit down, you tilt your head back, you breathe a little bit. And here's the deal. If you throw up on mushrooms, it's not a throw up like when you're drunk and you get the heaves and it's awful.
Yeah.
You'll laugh halfway through the throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the same at all.
All right.
The only time I threw up, me and my friends were in Joshua Tree. We got all these different, me and Egot and Matt Edgar. And Egot he's a talent queer at the Comedy Store. He had this old suit he was going to throw away. I'm like, wear that. So we went out camping with this fucking black suit on. It was great. But so we had all these different mushrooms from different sources and stuff. And one of them was in this like chocolate patty. And so we just kept eating, like, let's eat the patty now. And then we ate it, like, what's that taste? Is it like a Rolo? What is that taste? We couldn't place it,
Yeah.
And then I think Edgar was like, oh, reminds me of the taste of barf. And we're like, oh my God. And then I just threw up instantly.
Immediate, like, yeah.
But it did not matter.
When was the last time that you can recall,
Yeah.
if ever, hesitation or some type of you were scared to maybe
Take mushrooms?
to try to take mushrooms?
Okay. With mushrooms,
Yeah.
almost every single time I take them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, then how do you keep doing it?
Because I can tell myself this isn't bad. It's kind of like, when you have to start asking girls out and the first time at 17, it's
Yeah.
real hard.
Yeah.
And then at 27, it's like a little less hard.
Right.
It's still scary, but you're like, no, I know how this is going to go. At worst, she'll be like, I got a boyfriend.
Right.
It's still scary, though.
Yeah, because I saw a video of you.
Yeah.
I think it was with Red. You did maybe it was
Salvia, yeah.
Yeah, that freaked me out, dude.
Yeah.
That I saw you do that because you put it on the podcast, right?
Red Band
I
did.
watched that because when people first started doing it, they were making their own videos of them doing it like alone. That was weird because they were doing it like on their webcams alone, and they just freaked the fuck
ground
out
and,
and then just come back. And I don't know, man.
I will tell you this: as much as that was free, I know because I kind of freaked out on that thing.
Yeah.
I went as deep on a drug as maybe I've ever gone.
Yeah.
On that stuff. It was the best trip. It
Oh.
just looked bad from the outside. You ever see a zombie, one of those zombies walking down fucking, the streets here?
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, at like fucking 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And you're like, you are gacked out.
Yeah.
And then people feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
But I just saw one the other day. I'm like, oh no, he's having a great time.
Yeah,
He's not like, I'm so poor. And so he's just like,
yeah.
that was a great trip. I saw things. I was in a fucking another place for a long time.
That freaks me the fuck out.
Mushrooms is not even close to that. You never lose reality
Do
like you did on
do
Salvia.
you feel like you're more creative? Do you get creative with weed? Like, do you write jokes like you do?
Yeah, sometimes. And at some point on weed, it got to the point where I was just maintaining.
Yeah.
Where I wasn't getting to that same thing.
Right. Because sometimes when I smoke,
Yeah.
well, I don't really smoke actually too much. I'll just take. I never buy it. I don't roll. I don't know how to roll it or anything like that.
Yeah.
But an edible or someone passes me something, I find that like I'm
Way
just,
creative.
Oh my god,
Dude, my last special, I probably had 10 to 15 minutes that came out of mushroom trips.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thoughts I got on mushrooms. And others parts that I didn't maintain the special, didn't make
Yeah.
it, but like these thoughts are, I'll write stuff down in those little notebooks like that.
Yeah. Well, half the time I'll write down, then I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's not funny.
Yeah,
at all.
half the time it's absolutely garbage.
I'm like,
It's absolutely worthless.
This is like literally not funny at all.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it's like, oh my god, I would have never even the way I would have never had that point of view, kind of.
You think outside your normal way of thinking. Well, I think it's something where it like resets neural pathways. So like, if you have like a creek that runs this way,
Yeah.
and you stop it, the creek will run around and then go to a
Right.
new bed.
But you can do.
Dude, you will not freak out on mushrooms.
Okay.
Nothing bad will
Well, then
ever
I'll do
happen
it
to
with you.
anybody. Okay.
I'll do it with you.
Okay.
But I'm scared. I'm telling you that.
All right.
But I will.
There's a few guys that want to do it too. Vecchione, we're trying
Yeah.
to get him to do it.
Yeah.
There's a few guys who need to lose control.
Yeah.
You need to like let go.
Oh, that sounds great. I don't not lose control. Like, I don't want to be like scared. And do you see things?
What do you mean?
Do you see things that aren't really
Like a little guy going, "Come with me."
Yes.
No.
Oh, so people that say that, are they lying?
It's heavy acid,
Yeah.
or it's movie shit.
Because it's so funny that you just said that. Because the first thing I remember someone saying is they saw a leprechaun, like that, like what you just said is what I heard. So maybe it's like just fucking urban bullshit.
That's just movie shit.
But do you see like
okay,
the wall melting?
not melting, but like a patterns like this, like that wall, like this. Let's say if from far away, it'll like swim a little bit. If I was looking at the sand, I did this once in San Diego, in La Jolla, and I was looking at the sand, and it just looked like it was all sort of like imagine if the sand was made out of like maggots or something, and it was all sort of like moving on itself.
So that is then you receive that as cool, not fucking weird. And,
Yeah, you're not gone, and you're not-
uncomfortable.
right? And you're not like, wow, the sand is actually moving. You're just like, wow, it really looks like it's breathing. I did it in Banff National Forest this last time for Shroomfest, and you could see the roots of these big trees sort of like growing and becoming.
But that's not bothering you.
no, because one, I'm on mushrooms.
You know.
And two, it's like those roots that are growing, they're not coming out to get you. They're just
What
kind
if
of
they
growing.
do?
They don't. They just don't.
Yeah, but what if they do?
But they don't. And also, if you look right at it, it's different. Almost like you have to look at it from the side of your eye, and then you sort of see it, and then when you look right
Yeah,
at it.
so your
you go,
mind just is playing tricks on you, though.
yeah, super fun tricks.
Super fun tricks.
Yeah. You have an adventure.
'Cause it
You'll get
doesn't
lost and
sound
be like,
super
I couldn't
fun.
find my way back. And you find out you were fucking in the backyard for 2 hours.
And that's fun.
Super fun.
Because I would be real fucking nervous that I don't know my way back.
Yeah, that's why you don't take your cell phone with you. Because you don't want to be able to like rely on something to get you back. You leave that alone. The adventure's part of it.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
So can you tell? So if I'm like, oh shit, out of my peripheral,
Yeah.
I think that tree's roots are trying to get me.
No, they won't be trying to get you.
but that's not fun.
But not trying to
That's
get
not
you.
a journey I want to do.
Right. You might consider death more than you've ever considered it before.
Death is my fucking thing, though. Like I think of death so often, and it is literally
Like mortality in general.
Yes.
Yeah, you might consider that.
I'm not good with it though.
Yeah, well, it's okay though. But
Yeah.
then have ultimate sadness, and then an hour later you'll be laughing like you've never laughed before.
When you are done with it, do
Yeah.
you take the experience with you? Are you like,
Some of it.
I felt that sadness, and I loved hitting the high and the low, and it was a good thing. It was cathartic. Or are you like, oh, that happened, but I don't even really remember what happened?
Okay, the feeling you get, you'll take that with you. The feeling of like having worked through something, it's like that all is now in your real world now, at least for a couple months.
Yeah.
And so you like need another reset, but like that's all with you. The exact thoughts you had, those are fleeting like a dream. You
Right.
can hold on to some of them. The universal truths that you figured out while you're
Right.
on there, and you will figure some of them out. You'll think about your place in the world, and like,
Oh God, yeah. So you get in your own head a little bit.
but not in a bad way. Like I remember I've having thoughts at like Shroomfest 1 at the condo in San Diego. We came in from the beach, and then it was like and just thinking about like I'm a comedian. My job is to be true to myself, and the result is people laugh and get joy out of it, and sort of
Right.
like that's what I'm supposed to give not the world, but like that's my place here.
Right.
You know, and that's a fine place to be in.
Right.
And it's almost like you'd be like, you know what? I don't need to be an actor. I don't need to do that stuff. This is like a solid, good thing I'm doing.
But you get that little hesitation before you do it still.
Every time. Because it's like, I'm going to lose control. It's not like taking a shot. It's like taking like, here, this is 7 shots in one. Then you'd be like, oh, hold on. I'm going to get blackout drunk in the next 20 minutes.
Right.
That's tough.
So there was a few times that I did an edible, and I didn't when I first ever. I don't like I do whenever, but like not too often. But like when you like I first took it, I didn't really know how that worked.
Yeah,
and so I ate I ate like a couple of cookies, and you're supposed to have like a half a cookie or whatever. And there was a point during that where it's like, oh, this is too much, and it's like overwhelming, and I want it to stop, and then it lasted like 4 more hours. Oh, right. And it's like you're like, I just wish this would stop.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to make it stop on mushrooms, but there are ways to like lower it. You read that thing, asking the mushrooms pull it back will definitely work. Just going and turning the TV on. And be like, I'm not going to get lost in my thoughts. I'm going to watch TV. That'll pull it back. Getting on your phone will pull it back.
Is it better to, like, let's say you were with 5 people and all 5 people do it?
Oh, for sure. No, you don't want anybody not on it.
You don't want to be...
You don't want anybody that's not on it.
Oh, you don't? Not even one person to be like, you guys are okay. I'm not on it. Like, I'm the voice of reason. Don't worry.
I don't think so. Unless you really have like a shaman. Like if it was me. Maybe.
If I turn to Vecchione and he's doing it for the first time, we're not going to be able to offer each other anything.
Yeah. But the part of it's just like, figure it out, man. Everybody has always figured this out. That's the fun of it.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, we all got so lost. We lost my friend Matt Egger last time. We were in Malibu or something. And we were like, we got to go look for him. Like, he's okay. And then he was like in an embankment, like across the street for like 2 hours just laying there. And then he came back and like, oh my God, I had so many crazy thoughts. Yeah. But like, it would have to be somebody who's not going to watch you at all, who's not going to like be observing you. Like if it was like, I wouldn't want you to be the straight man around us because you'd be like, are you okay? What are you doing?
Right.
What is this? I might be able to do it. It'd be tough not to do mushrooms. Everybody's doing mushrooms.
Right.
And I might be able to be like, yeah, I'll be here sober just to like make sure everybody else is like cool.
How long does it last?
About 5-6 hours. So for 45 minutes, it's just like you start getting a little anxious because it's kicking in. Try to push that anxiety away because you're like, that's first stage. Second stage is all fun. And again, you don't want to pull the anxiety in with you. And then
so the first stage is anxiety.
Because you're like, here I go. I can feel a little like warm in my hands and stuff. Like it's happening. I'm losing control.
But it doesn't feel like. Does it feel? So it doesn't feel like an alcohol drunk. It doesn't feel like a weed high.
A bit like a weed high.
Like what is it the most parallel to? Like what is it? Is it like a weed high?
Bit of ecstasy.
Okay.
I mean the feelings of love you'll get.
Okay.
And I mean there are times when I've seen homeless people, like bums, and I've just been like, yeah, we just got a different drug. You and I just got addicted to a different drug, and it's like here's $20, man. I mean, it's like almost too much empathy.
Right.
It's like you got heroin, I got weed. That's so unlucky for you that my friends were into different drugs and your friends were.
Right.
So you just see people as like away from yourself. You just see them as all as like their full selves.
Right.
I don't know, but like you had no judgments on anything or yourself. It feels a little like tingly, warm, a little bit like ecstasy actually. And then
do you take your cell away from yourself because because what I'll do is like you ever wake up the next day and you're like bombed and you're like, oh shit, and you just scroll through your last like 15 texts.
There's definitely that.
Yeah.
There's definitely I've had to apologize to people, say sorry, I was on mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rogan he knows by now that if I ever do get myself and
I get loving.
Yeah.
So I'll go
but
and everyone, I love you so you don't understand, like this, that, the other, and something like that. Yeah.
But too much.
Yeah.
And people are like, what?
Right. I did it at the stand-up last time.
Really?
I don't know if I was high or drunk, and I texted him some rambling thing about like, oh, it's how much I love you and all that. And somewhere in there, I even lost what I was trying to say, and he wrote back, I woke up to this, I'm a little confused. Yeah,
it's great. It's great. I would suggest doing it with a girlfriend or a bunch of guys that are like you're friends with. You definitely don't want anybody. You definitely don't want like a new girlfriend where you're still trying to impress them,
right?
Or any friends,
right?
Unless you're doing like 10 people, you might know 1 or 2 barely, but you want to really know the group.
Right.
Just have a good time. You ever go to Verzi's house?
No.
Well, he's got a good house for it. Big backyard, big house. Maybe your house too.
Yeah.
But you want to wander a little sometimes too and lay in nature. Yeah, Soder's thinking of getting a group together and going to do them. The week he wanted to, I couldn't do it because it's the week before my special.
What do you mean, like going where?
The Woods.
The Woods?
Yeah.
That's got fucking horror movie written all over it.
No.
I don't want to go to the woods. I'm going to fucking Blair Witch myself to a fucking heart attack.
No, you're not.
I'm
just
taking
there to
mushroom
do
in the
it.
woods?
You just stare. You walk fucking 20 feet past your cabin and you just sit down. You're like, well, and you just stare and have silence around you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, if you look at a tree, I'm like, well, it's out now, but like, oh, yeah, all the leaves swim and stuff. You really just get lost in your thoughts. So me and Renazisi went to see whatever's left of Grateful Dead with John Mayer playing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I never understood what the joy is of 25-minute songs before this.
Before that.
Yeah.
the
You get
jam
so
bands.
lost in your thoughts, and then at 25 minutes and they change the beat to a new song, you're like, oh.
Amazing.
Oh. And you look over at Steve, and Steve's like, whoa. And you're like, wow. And then like 3 or 4 minutes play of that, then you get lost again.
Amazing. That's
Dude,
great.
I'm pretty prideful of myself of not dosing people wrong.
Right.
You will enjoy mushrooms.
Okay. I mean, I'm.
That's the main thing. People are like, I don't want to lose control, and it's like, yeah, just do it. Just lose control.
Did we go too much?
No, we didn't go too long.
Do people often, since you're the professional there, do you find that the conversation goes here on your podcast? I'm not being redundant with you in this conversation.
Oh no!
Because I don't know.
No, you have specific questions to yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I know.
I want to be a guest that's not bringing up the same topics. And since you're related to that, I don't know how many times you had to.
I bring up
talking.
mushrooms twice a year.
Oh, okay.
I'll bring them up more than that, but I'll go into a depth like this.
Okay.
Maybe twice a year.
Okay.
And it'll be new people, and it'll be people that are like still considering it, so I don't mind them.
Right. Yeah, I was always behind with it. I didn't even. First time I ever even smoked weed was like I was probably like 19, 20.
How would
drink? I didn't drink
Really?
till college.
What were drugs and alcohol like in Staten Island? Was it like a lot or not? Really?
When I was growing up, I was just weed.
Just weed.
Yeah.
And everyone smoked?
No, I didn't see it at all in high school. I saw it in college, and it was just the potheads.
Right.
So that was really it. And I went to school at St. John's, so I stayed home.
Oh.
But if you go away, everybody's fucking got Birkenstocks, a hacky sack, and a fucking everybody.
It's at Maryland.
Because I would go, I would go to visit my friends, even not even far. I would go to like Fairfield, Connecticut, and it was like everybody there was in like, that same thing. It was like fucking high, hacky sack, Birkenstocks all over the joint.
Yeah. Yeah. There's people outside the bowling alley at Maryland were like that.
Yeah. And then when I was in my young
Are you wearing
20s,
pants, lady?
ecstasy.
Oh, no, it's leg hair. Okay. My fault. Ecstasy.
Ecstasy.
So what'd you think of ecstasy?
I did do that.
What'd you think of that?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I loved it when I had
I had not really any bad experiences with it. But then, it was my young 20s. It was like very en vogue at the time. And what it was like, I was broke, and like we would go like out, and like one of my friends, he would deal it, and so he would just give it to me for nothing, or like you could spend $20.
It is a way cheaper day. If you want to get fucked up,
Yeah.
fucked up in ecstasy, you got one pill,
You go
and
to
a
the
bunch of water,
city.
and then you're fine.
Yeah, you go to the city, it's like $10 a drink, $12 a drink, whatever it was, and then it was like, oh, you could just take that and drink water all night, and it would last hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
So I did it, and it was a little time where my friends did it and stuff like that. But then I just, after like a little bit, I was like, okay, I did it, and now I'll stop.
Right.
Now I'll stop, because I didn't want to I don't know. I started hearing like bad things about it, and I just didn't want to
Shoots holes in your nervous system.
yeah,
things like that.
it kills tons of brain cells and everything like that. And I don't know. I just was like, let me stop.
Right.
Let me stop. I started my 9 to 5 after college, and it was right before that. And then when I had to take a drug test and stuff, so I was like, I'm just gonna stop.
And they just never got back into it.
No.
Now they just have the pure Molly,
Yeah,
which is like the best.
yeah. I haven't done that.
Me and Soder took that and mushrooms together at LCD Sound System.
Okay.
And
So what the fuck? How do you know what's gonna happen when you start mixing shit?
oh, well, you got to get expertise. Certain drugs go together.
Well, even if you know how Molly is and you know how mushrooms are, you don't know if you take both of those if it's going to combine to do something that you weren't expecting.
Yeah, sure. So that's why you ask a pharmacist when you don't know what two drugs are going to interact.
When you say a pharmacist, you just mean
a drug addict.
right? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Geraldo never asked a drug addict.
Right.
He just fucking experimented.
Right.
There's certain drug like weed is a universal donor. It goes with every drug. It just enhances every drug.
It's so funny that I don't know these probably stereotypical drug jokes, but it's funny.
No, weed kicks everything into overdrive. If you're drunk, like I'm getting a little too drunk, and you smoke a joint, you're fucked. You're gonna throw up.
Right.
It's gonna send you. It's gonna just. If you're on mushrooms and you're starting to like, because it goes in waves, by the way, too. You'll go over the first wave, like, oh, is that it? Is that done? You're like, no, it's just about to go up. And
Oh
up like
shit!
this.
Okay.
And so then once you feel yourself like on down waves, then if you're like, I'm not done with this yet, smoke a J, kick you back up.
And it'll help the mushrooms again.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So what's Molly mushroom like?
Molly mushrooms does this thing because the only negative possible for mushrooms, well, throw up, but that's such a minor negative. It's like, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
It's quick and over. If it do, bring some gum with you if you're really worried about it.
Yeah.
The only real negative is if you go down some sort of like bad trip hole and you start thinking of bad thoughts. So what Molly does, MDMA, is it just makes you full of love. Ecstasy was the best name for it. It really was, because it really make you feel just like.
I mean, I haven't done it in 20 years, but you and I could be sitting here right now, and I will genuinely believe this might be one of the best nights of my entire life.
Oh, for sure, man. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's
Like, dude,
unbelievable.
I would never do anything. Sitting here with you, it's great,
I
man.
know.
Two bros hanging out.
I know.
What are we doing with our lives? This is where it's at.
I know. Even a lot of I would back rub my, just be like, dude, you're the best,
So you know how when you're at a concert and there's a beach ball up in the air?
Yeah.
And then it comes down?
Yeah.
Imagine if it coming down, that the beach ball is your thoughts. And when it starts to come down, as you start to get negative thoughts, somebody in the crowd is there to pop it back up again.
Right.
And that crowd popping back up, that's ecstasy.
Got
No
it.
matter if it goes there, it's just going to pop it back up. So now you're guaranteed to have good thoughts and on mushrooms.
So are
It's a
you
great
just walking around
combination.
ecstatic?
You're just in a good mood and tripping and having a good
Laughing,
tripping time.
loving.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of just gets a little less and less.
Yeah, wears off
and then
slowly.
it's gone.
Yeah.
Are you depressed when it's gone?
No, the people have said that if anything, it's kind of worn out, but a lot of that's from because you just walked for 7 hours.
Right,
You're just walking around and doing stuff for a long time.
Right.
And also the amount of thoughts like you have is like,
Do you feel like where were you when you did that?
did what?
The mushroom Molly?
Bonnaroo was so.
Oh, it was Bonnaroo?
Yeah.
So everybody there is fucking in the
It's
same
also
boat.
perfect place. For
Yeah,
any
because
sort
I was
of
going to
drug.
say, do you feel like people can take advantage of you if you're in a state where you're...
Here's the deal. My friend told me this once. I keep saying, here's the deal. There's a lot of deals. I want to go there, man. That's a perfect place to do mushrooms.
Yeah.
In between these two valleys like that, no one can get to you either way. You just wander. Fucking glorious. My friend told me this. There's stuff that matters on mushrooms and there's stuff that does not matter on mushrooms.
Okay.
So if you lose $20, maybe not now because you're doing a lot better, but let's say 7 years ago, it's like, fuck. What did I do with that? Did I drop that out of my fucking pocket?
Right.
God damn it. It might mess up your day.
It would bother me now.
It would. Okay, yeah. Cute
I've
Italian.
worked for every fucking dollar.
But on mushrooms, it doesn't matter at all. It's just like, what? Ah, fuck. Uh-huh. Yeah, let's go to the park.
Right.
It's gone.
right,
It's gone.
right.
Let's just not even think about it. What was I going to say with that? What'd you ask me?
Well, because Bonnaroo, can people take advantage of you?
Oh, yeah. They just don't. Also, you'll be fine on mushrooms. Oh, here's what I was going to say. Me and Jay took them once at Blues Fest in Ottawa, and we ordered a pizza. And, man, it was Canadian money, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the pizza guy who's there, and I just, gave whatever I had in my hand. I'm like, you take what you need of this. I probably gave him, 3 20s, 4 5s.
Did he do? And he took it?
No, he gave me back change.
Okay,
He was
all
like, and he just gave me back a bunch of change.
Okay.
Because most people, unless you tell them, don't know you're on mushrooms.
Right.
So they're just like, you're weird.
Right.
I mean, if you were sober and you said to an actual pizza guy, hey, take what you need of this and give me back the change.
Right.
They would look at you weird and they would give you back the change.
Right.
Because they wouldn't assume you would just let them go.
Right. Gotcha. All right. Well,
Dude, it's glorious. I don't, there's no way
I'll
around it.
just
It's
do it
amazing.
when I have the next day off.
When are you done filming?
July.
Oh, wait.
Now, every once in a while, though, I have a day off here and there.
You film till July?
We film 9 to 10 months out of the year.
What?
It's brutal. I know.
That's too much.
It is. It prohibits us from doing other things too, because we also do 65 to 70 dates a year.
Oh.
Road dates.
How do I ever see you then?
I don't know. Make time for you, man.
Yeah, I guess it'll come out.
No, we find ourselves in the same places a lot. We're lucky. I probably see you more than I do some of my family sometimes. Even though there's times when like I could see you 2-3 times in a week if like you're here and we're both out and stuff like that. But yeah, no, we're it's rough. We can't even do anything else. But I'm not gonna. We do 30 episodes a season. So, so it's just like constant. It's constant, which is, it's great. It's great. I mean, I know when it goes away finally, I'll be upset, but it can be grueling, but.
You'll be upset but relieved at the same time.
There's a bit of upset and relief, I think. But it's like lightning in a bottle. Like I always think about. I'm so excited to do like solo stand up and to learn and get better and better. And I'm for that challenge. That literally is like the saving grace that is going to be like when this ends. Because it's like I know I'll keep being creative. I might try to do another show with other guys, whatever. But I'll never know if I'll have as much fun or be as successful as this show. And it's kind of a little bit depressing thought. But the thing that makes me be like, no, this is going to be fucking great is the stand up.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You would have those thoughts too if you're like starting to be like, I don't know if I want to do this show much anymore. Not that you are, but if you ever get to that point, and if you did mushrooms, you'd be like, what am I talking about? I'm having so much fun fucking around with my friends from high school. Let's just figure. I had a thought once in Edinburgh last year. I was getting overwhelmed with road work. I was trying to plan my road work for when my special was going to tape, but I didn't know when my special was going to tape. So it was like I had to get all these bookings, and if it wasn't going to tape, then I'm like, I need a couple fucking days off, man.
Yeah.
I need 2 weeks off, and I didn't know when it was going to be. And then it hit me like, I'm doing better. I can just do B and C rooms to get ready with way less notice.
Right.
I'm like, and it was like, Ari, you're fine.
Sometimes we make things more difficult than they need to be.
Just tell your agent no, and they'll have to do what you say.
Right.
You're okay.
Yeah. Isn't that great though when you have those moments?
Yeah.
Like clarity moments.
God, it's great.
And also the solution was so simple.
So simple.
And sometimes you can't even get to that fucking solution. It's crazy. I do have those moments too. Sometimes I get completely overwhelmed where I feel like I'm fucking drowning.
Yeah.
And then I stop. Like if I'll hit a fucking point and I'll stop and go, it doesn't fucking matter. Mm-hmm. It does not matter. The only thing that matters is that I enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's it. And if I'm making myself not enjoy it, then I'm fucking complicating it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little different because I'm beholden to the guys we like work on.
That's a little different. That's the same thing with me where I want to like go on my own schedule and then you have all these people like, hey, you're fucking me over too. It's like, fuck.
But we're good with that. But yeah, it's true. Like every once in a while I'll like be like feeling like I'm going to fucking suffocate and I'm like, you know what? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Why am I making things more complicated than they have to be?
When Chappelle, they had to do Oddball and he was like, maybe. And they were like waiting on him. And then like they weren't announcing a lineup because they're waiting on him to say yes. And then like I think a month or 2 months before, he goes, yeah, I don't really want to do it. And they're like, oh, but we're not going to have it. He goes, oh, yeah, I mean, you got to deal with that. I don't really want to go on the road for, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah. He's got it.
Yeah, best of luck to you. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, what a, that's like fucking, what a position.
Yeah.
Like he's right.
Yeah. Because no. Turns out it's really warm this week, so I'm going to stay home. I'm going to do some hiking.
Yeah, man. Well, but they end up losing a lot of dates because of that.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Right.
He was like, I don't know.
Rock too, right? People. Rock was going to be on it, and then when Chappelle, that's what I heard.
The two of them were supposed to be on the road together. I heard
Chappelle said, and he was like, no. Also, there's other things with him, but I heard that happened to both of them, and it's like, yeah, it's like, but then a lot of people, yeah. But it's fucking, it's true.
It's not your fault. It's like,
no,
you're not beholden to make Big J extra 4 weeks of work.
No, that's like I mean, some people might be like, look, if you committed and bailed out, that's not right. But he was like, I'll let you know, and then
and they try to push him into doing it.
I think that's just being enlightened.
Yeah,
like it's just like, no,
I've been here before. It's gonna bother me.
Yeah,
nah. Yeah, when I go to Montreal, I'm like, give me a day off. I always get like want to see a bunch of shows one day or go to something out. So like, give me the day off somewhere in the middle there.
Right.
And they're like, well, we don't do them. Like, just do it. You can bunch me up the other days.
We only learned that recently. Like when we first got the show, we did not know how to make a TV show. We had to figure that out. And we did not know what we were allowed to do, what our real role was. I didn't know how I was supposed to interact with certain other roles. We didn't know anything. And we didn't know we were allowed to say no. And I didn't even learn. We keep learning. And only till I'd say last season did we start the season being like, okay, if we do not build in time for ourselves, no one is going to give us that time.
Oh, right.
Everyone's going to ask as much as we could possibly give of ourselves, and if we don't say that's enough, then it's not gonna, we won't have it. And so like only as of like last year we started being like, we want this off, we'll be off this time, we'll be off this time, we'll be off this time, and then it's just like, now figure that out after that.
Right. That's what Jack Nicholson does. He goes, I don't shoot before 10.
Yeah.
And I don't shoot, I go to Lakers games. And they're like, well, what if we're shooting then? He goes, again, I don't shoot before 10 a.m.
That's amazing.
And I go to Laker games.
That's amazing.
So whatever the schedule is, that's happening.
Right.
And then
That's
deal with it.
fucking great.
It's great.
What a relief it is to be that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you
But
have
you
an-
can't. I mean,
do you have-
you have to earn. No, I mean, imagine saying that to you.
Yeah.
I mean, people can't do that.
They'd be like,
you
yeah,
know?
that's cool. We just don't.
I mean, we don't do it to that extent.
Yeah.
I'm just finally like, we would like a week off every 3 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They'd be like, fine. Do you have a first team like assistant that follows you everywhere?
An assistant?
Not an assistant. I forget. It's
We
like
have
a
an
first team
assistant.
where it's you and everyone surrounding you, makeup with you, and then this guy who has to like follow you to say like, "Hey, where are you going?" Like, I'm going to the bathroom, and they know if you're going to number 1 or number 2. They fucking tell you when lunch is.
So that's like the first the AD and second AD.
Yeah.
And then
Second
we
AD.
have makeup, first AD, second AD. We have all that stuff, but we're legit like, we don't operate like any other show,
Right.
because we set the tone for our show. And it's just how we figured out to do it. None of us had any other frame of reference. So anytime a writer or someone comes over to our crew that was on another crew, they're like, "Oh yeah, like I've worked on 20 shows and this is not how anyone does it." And we're like, "Yeah, well, that's because we have no
Learn
reference."
on your own, yeah.
Yeah, and so like we have those people, but they're like, everyone on the thing is like a friend first. It's not like anyone like being like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I just know. Like, it's weird. People come on our show and they're like, "Oh, like you guys talk to everyone and you're like friends with everyone and like everyone has your number and like you socialize with everyone." It's like people say to me that they're not on some shows. They're not allowed to approach certain people on shows.
Crazy they isolate these actors.
I'm like, I don't understand. So you mean like you're not? No, we're not allowed to go up to them and bother them or whatever. And I'm like, well, they don't come to you. And some of them are like, yeah, sometimes they'll, but other than that, it's not like, it's like us. It's like, I couldn't even believe, what a weird fucking.
It's either those guys, those ADs and stuff, they're working for you or they're working with you.
Right. Well, who doesn't want everyone to be
All
working
work
with
each
you?
other. Yeah.
Dude, I'll like lift, I'll like do stuff that's not even my job, and they're like, "Don't do that." Another thing I
You're
hate.
like, it's right here. I'll just
Another
pick
thing
it
I
up.
hate. Yeah,
We're delaying the
people
shoot.
refer to us as the
Talent. It's the worst word.
Oh God,
It's so embarrassing.
It
It's
is
like, please
so
don't say that.
fucking.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's
They
pretentious.
do that on commercials. Like talent has. I'm like, oh guys.
Yeah, and when we have to do like promo shoots and we don't have our own people, and they're like, "We need don't do the talent." We're always just like, we walk in immediately and we're like, "Yes, we're not really professional. You don't have to call us the talent. We'll do whatever you guys say. Fuck that guy. Ha ha ha!" Like we just immediately start making just messing with people.
Talent.
I hate it.
And with a guy who knows camera works and fucking lenses more than that's more talented than
I know.
catching a beer and go, oh, Budweiser, thanks.
Yeah.
Like there's no talent there.
Another thing when we're on other sets is people get so possessive of their particular role. So like, that's my job. That's not my job. Like,
That's union
Yeah,
shit.
I hate that.
Me
though.
too.
I hate it. Like, and everyone's like, it's never that department's fault. Okay, something happens. We're running a little late, or hold on, we got to stop down. And it's like,
Well, props wasn't here.
yeah. Well, and then you hear props like, we were here. That wasn't. But the sound guy, and it's like, sound's here, buddy. Like, and they all just like, it's like all these little mini
just look at
fucking
them all.
wars against each other. It's like, holy shit! Everyone's trying to blame each other, and everyone's the best at their job. God forbid, like anyone own up to a mistake. Like everyone's just like, no, I'm I have a reputation. I'm here for a reason. It's just so weird. And we get on those types of sets. Sometimes I'll do like guest acting on like people will be like, oh, we were a fan of yours. You want to come on and do this? And I'll like go on a show and like, it's so like actors in their trailers, union guys, who's fault, who's this, who's that. It's all this like passive aggressive like stuff. Like the director will say something and blame someone, and then someone will, it's just, you got it. You come to our set one day, it's like literally like this.
Dude, Hollywood is garbage.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's just full
Legit.
of awful people doing awful, self-important things.
It's so fucking weird.
The more I see it too, it's like, I don't want to be part of this.
We go out like we literally go out with our like we'll be like, what's everyone doing after work tonight?
Yeah.
And we just we'll close up on foot, go bar hopping, the whole crew, soup to nuts. If there's someone that started on our show like 3 days ago, it's like, oh, you got to come out.
Yeah.
Like
Let's get to know you.
Yeah, if it's someone at if it's like a production assistant, I treat them no differently than the fucking showrunner. None.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like that
Crazy,
people.
that's
right. That's what I mean. It's crazy that people don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are Jews like in Staten Island?
I would imagine whatever you think.
I mean, are there a lot of them? Is it like
We have big-
are people
we
like,
have-
ugh, the fucking Saturday, the walkers?
I mean, I don't. I've never heard that. I think we have a lot of Jewish communities.
A lot of
we have
Jewish.
we have certain Jewish communities. Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I've had any like very religious Jewish friends. Like certainly not Hasidic.
They were going to private school.
Yeah, certainly not. I don't think I know any Hasidic Jewish people. I did weddings. I bartended Hasidic weddings.
Really?
Yeah, when I first got my bartender's license, I worked at a catering hall in Staten Island called the Excelsior Grand.
Yeah.
It used to be called the Shalimar. Wu-Tang shouts it out in one of their songs. But and I did every single religious type of wedding.
Yeah.
And I would do Hasidic Jewish weddings, which were for me peculiar to see because they divide the room in half. So for like, first of all, the whole community comes.
Oh, yeah, they do. They
So it's like
split it up.
500-600 people, whereas like a big Italian wedding would be like maybe 300. Like 600 was nothing for a Hasidic Jewish wedding, or like a Slavic wedding or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so 600 people. Then they get a huge room, banquet hall, and then they put a divider, like maybe like 6 feet high, between, and every woman's on the left and every man is on the right for the whole party.
The mechitza.
For the whole party.
Oh, not even to eat?
Like for the whole party. Wow. And then at one point they have like dance floors, and then like separate
dance floors,
and then
yeah.
there's one portion where everyone gets into costumes, like Halloween almost, like funny costumes, and they all
Trying to
dance
entertain the bride?
in the
Try to,
funny
like-
costumes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the other types of weddings, like or I did like Russian weddings or whatever. That was really crazy. So what they do is they hire a band, again, 500-600 people. They hire a band. The band plays the entire time. They don't pay the band.
Really?
The people that come pay the band by way of throwing money at them, singles for the 6 hours that they're playing. And so there's someone walking around with a broom and a garbage bag, picking up thousands of dollars in singles.
What?
Yeah. And the band, at least to my discerning ear, I couldn't discern, is playing relatively the same song for about 5 hours. And there's only one dance. It's like it was like I was watching zombies. It was crazy. It was very unique. And also, they don't like you to speak to the women, which I didn't know.
The bartenders?
No.
Who's you?
The men attending the party do not like you to speak to the women. So they'll place their orders, drinks, food, whatever.
Place the women's orders.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. And at the place I worked at, so let's say they have, for argument's sake, there'd be a bartender to every, let's say 75 people,
Yeah.
right? So we would have our little mini bars in the corners of the room. So like if I was in this corner, they'd be like, all right, there's tables of 12. You have those 6 tables 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And at least when I worked there, they were like, if someone has to come to you, up to your bar in the corner to get a drink, you're not working hard, you're not going fast enough. Yeah. So they wanted us to, so as soon as everyone let in, I'd go around to those 6 tables and literally write down what everyone wanted, right? Because I had to get back and make them and then deliver them. And then once I got that out of the way, the whole night I'd just do like upkeep. So it would be very like the place would force you to go. So I'd run up and I'd be like, what can I get you? What can I get you? And I didn't even know. And guys would be like, whoa, what are you doing? Like literally in my face, like, don't ask her what she wants. And I was like, oh, okay. Like they'd be like, the guys would be like,
You got a problem?
yeah, Also, they would like treat me like I was their servant. They would be like, bro. They would like clap. Be like, yo, bro. And I'd be like, yeah. And they'd be like, round of. They were like, I'll take a beer. Bring a beer. You know what? They were just like, they start asking for things that didn't happen, like buckets of beer. Like, bring buckets of beer. And I was like, well, we don't really. They'd be like, is there a problem? Bring buckets of beer. Like, and I'd be like, all right. I go to my boss and be like, they want buckets of beer. And I'd be like, all right. And I'd bring buckets of beer. And then I'd be like, do you want me to open it for you? He's like, don't talk to her. I'll open it. Like, but then the worst was I didn't realize that it was like a millionfold with the bride. And when you have a wedding, like anything, you're supposed to be like right on the bride and groom. If she sneezes, hand her a tissue. If she like, you're supposed to have anything ready for her. So the groom, he ordered 2 Coronas. And I thought, I was like, so I went there and I was like, is one of those Coronas for you? Do you want a Corona? And 5 guys, I'm not even kidding, walked right up to me, put their hand on my chest. They're like, don't talk to her. Also, she had to look down. Dude, I don't know if this is normal. I'm not speaking on behalf of for like a lot of it. And I'm not exaggerating. Like they were at the dais and there was one point where he was on the chair of his on his chair standing up. He had a Corona in each hand and he was like dancing, and to the band.
The groom?
Yeah. And she was in her chair sitting looking down.
Whoa.
And I don't know what that is, and I don't know why that is, but that's real. I saw that. But I'm sure she was happy, but like I don't get that. I didn't know what that was about. And then they said, don't even ask her if she wants anything. Like, don't talk to her. Like, that we'll ask her.
Damn.
I know.
Russians.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it was.
Do you think maybe it was just like, could it be something you were reading into and it was like she just found out he'd been cheating on her?
I don't think
and she was like,
no, like because she stayed, like, because I was like watching and I'm like, holy shit, she's been looking down for fucking 25 minutes, and then I can't recall. I mean, I'm sure she got up and danced at one point, but for whatever reason, like, it was like, I think it was like this thing where it's like out of respect to him or something like that, like as a gesture. I don't know. I was trying to solve all these. I was trying
weddings
to like
are weird, like the rituals people do for weddings. I was at a Palestinian one. They fucking have sword fights. Not real ones, but like they have a sword fight dance.
Like, yeah,
like acts of war in this love ceremony.
We used to do the Hasidic weddings, and like a lot of people wouldn't drink.
Yeah.
So there was only a percentage of the people that would drink, and they were very coy about it.
Really?
Yeah. So they only drank. I am
like a fucking 15-year-old buying condoms where you gotta like slide grab and go.
Yeah. So they would only order 2 drinks. One was called a sombrero, which was like basically like a white Russian, with like with an amaretto. It was like, and then one was a sex on the beach. I'm telling you, I don't know why, but if it was 600 people at a Hasidic wedding, maybe 10 of them would be drinking, and every one of them would be drinking sex on the beach. I don't know if it was the hot drink at the moment, but I'm not even like.
What a weird thing for Hasids that fucking order too.
What I'm telling you right now, not another type of drink was ordered.
Sex on the beach and sombreros from Hasidic people.
That's it. But here's the thing: they didn't want to say sex on the beach.
Yeah.
So they would come up and say, "I'll take an SOB," and we had to. I literally was gonna like. I had to like entertain myself. So like I would be like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what that is." Just to force it. And he'd be like, an SOB, what he's drinking. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what an SOB is. And then they'd be like, sex on the beach. and then I would still be like, what? And then they would be like, sex on the beach. And I go, oh, one sex on the beach coming up. It was like it was so boring. Like, as a matter of fact, if you were new, you got the Hasidic weddings.
Really?
Yeah, because they were 5 hours.
Nothing crazy happens.
No, and not to even say, but so when we did weddings, you used to get a $25 shift pay, and then whatever tips.
Oh, good luck with that.
So the Hasidic weddings, $55 shift pay.
Yeah, because they knew.
Because you're not going to believe me. $0. 0. And I don't think it's because of the stereotype that Jewish people are cheap.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's not customary for them to tip.
Sometimes they'll do this thing where they're like, "Oh no, we pay them quite well. Please don't tip. Don't feel like you should have to get money out.
Right.
Trust me." Like I remember one in what's the deep part of Long Island where the rich people live?
Like Montauk?
The Hamptons.
Oh, the Hamptons, yeah.
So we had a wedding there, and it was like I tipped the valet, and they were like, "No, no, no." I'm like, "No, it's okay." They go, "No, they paid us not to." I'm like, "Take it anyway." He goes, "Oh no, no, they paid us really well. Like,
Okay.
put your money away."
All right, well, I got $55.
Yeah, that's not really
for,
well.
for 5 hours.
Yeah, they don't even have a tip jar out at most of the Orthodox weddings.
No, and if we did, it would be funny because what happens is at the weddings we all pooled, right? So at the end of the night, we all go in the back.
And you're all accusing each other of stealing.
No, we all have to count our tips, and it was always like it would be like whoever had the most was like the fucking winner of the night because he made the most money for everybody. Then we divided up evenly. So like at Italian weddings, it's completely different. An Italian wedding, a guy wants to get a blowjob, he'll fucking peel off 100 when he asks for a Shirley Temple.
Show he's big.
He's just like, yeah, hey, give me, that's for you for the night, and he taps you on the cheek. And that Italian wedding, at the end of the night, we'd come back and make $600 in tips.
Whoa.
Yeah, but a no joke at the Jewish wedding, it was hysterical because the most someone would make is like $3-4.
Like a non-Jew is not
Just like
invited.
whoever decided to leave
business
$1. 'Cause to be fair, there wasn't that many people drinking either.
Right.
But it's just compared to everyone at the
But not
Italian.
per capita.
Right. Right.
Dude, I worked at a Jewish country club, and it was like, fucking clean that bag, go get my bag, go take it to my car, nothing ever. The only people that tip was when we had tournaments with outside people that would come in.
Yeah.
Then we get like regular
Yeah.
tips.
But why is that though? Why?
I don't know, man. Maybe it's like children of the Holocaust, so where it's like, so the new generation is not that bad, but the old generation was actually children of Holocaust survivors.
Right.
So they're like, we're going to lose it all again.
Right.
That mentality, you're raised by
Sure.
people like we
I
had
can
nothing.
see that. Okay.
But now, the people who are 25, 30 now were raised by people who did have stuff.
Yeah, but
So they're
someone
like,
who's at a country club telling you to take my bag, do this, do that, they're not going to tip though?
It's crazy. Yeah.
'Cause you
you're
can't help but-
cleaning
you
their
can't help but
clubs.
resent-
You're cleaning their clubs.
Yeah.
And like, put all the extra balls, the used balls, put those back in my bag. You're like, I can't even have your used balls.
Right. Do you
So
golf?
I do, and there was no compunction whatsoever when somebody's like, I can't find my bag, it's out there somewhere. We're like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know, I don't know where it is. And then we found out that it means he just left his cart somewhere and just wandered away from it. So we had to go scouring the fucking whole country club, the tennis courts, the golf courses, the pools, by the cafeteria, just trying to find this guy's the cart that he left out with his bag. And I found it.
Yeah.
And his driver didn't make it back. His driver found his way to my car.
Really?
Yeah, fuck those people.
Yeah. I don't
Don't
understand.
feel bad at all about stealing that motherfucker's driver. And, like, my driver's not in there. Like, oh shit! Like somebody took it. I'm like, well, when you
that's-
left out your bag for hours, it might have
That's
been
fucking
anybody.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Fuck it.
Yeah,
That's like Robin Hood.
exactly.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
You fucking
I
dick.
can't take arrogant assholes, man. I can't take it. I can't take bullies, and I can't take arrogant people.
Maury Povich tipped. He was there. He tipped.
Yeah, Maury.
Yeah, but not many people tipped. The younger guys would tip.
I find I've worked on tips nearly my whole life. I delivered pizza in high school and college.
I did that. Domino's.
Yeah.
Where'd you work?
I worked
Local?
at a independent, yeah. But I delivered pizza all through college, and then I was a bartender. I worked at Prudential for like 5 years,
Yeah.
and then I left because I wanted to pursue comedy. And then I bartended from 2003 until 2012.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and
4 years ago.
yeah.
Damn.
The first 2 seasons, I had just bought a bar. I bought a bar, and a month later, I found out we got the show. So
What'd you do? Sell it?
I worked there for about a year and a half, and I worked there almost every night, 4 nights a week at least, and then filmed every day until I was going to go. I was gonna have a breakdown, and I just told my partners that I couldn't do it anymore. And I just kind of gave them. I just let them. I just left.
Really?
Yeah. But I know what it's like to work on tips. When I was a bartender, like I've always tipped well. Is my point. So there's not much of an adjustment for me now. But being in the public now, like I feel a responsibility to tip even
tip.
more than I already do.
Well, also they're looking at you too. Like, let's see how Sal Volcano tips.
Yeah, right.
Instead
Which
of
is
like,
not,
"Fuck,
again,
that
I
was
always
cool."
tip well, but it's like, especially if the person who's waiting on me or whatever, in any capacity knows the show.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to.
Then you have to.
I have to.
Did you hear that story about who's that overrated white-haired singer, Italian singer?
Bocelli?
No.
Pavarotti?
No. Way more. like Mac the Knife and like.
Oh, Bobby Darin?
No, the
He
big
sings
one.
Mac the Knife.
Big. Oh, maybe not then. But that type of music. But the biggest one of those guys.
Sinatra?
Yeah, Sinatra.
Oh my. Sure. Yeah, Frank Sinatra. Yeah, got it. Same page. Old blue eyes. Got it.
Yeah.
Who said, really? That escaped you?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, Bocelli?
It's weed, man. It's weed. It's years of weed.
What'd he do?
So he got to the airport and somebody got his bags and he's like, "What's the biggest tip you ever got?" And he was like, $100 one time. He goes, "Here's $200 just to out tip whoever the other guy was." And then the guy didn't tell him, like, it was you. You gave me $100.
No.
Like last year.
Did someone else tell that story?
Yeah, that's the story I've heard.
Oh, that's funny. That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
I just was on.
You also will own somebody for $20 on a tip. Not like at a restaurant when you're spending $100, but like if you just tip a door guy or something like that,
Yeah.
or a pizza guy. I mean, they're just yours now.
I
They'll be
do
like,
it.
What do you need?
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if I go,
You want me to move somebody out of their seat and have you sit there? I'll die for you.
I don't do it for that, but I love that.
Oh yeah.
I love that because you know what? You're giving me back that we're both showing each other
Right.
something.
No, I'm saying you don't do it for that, but then you realize how much $20 actually matters.
Absolutely, dude,
Carlin
because-
gave me $20 for getting him a fucking sandwich once. He was doing the store, and I got him a sandwich from Greenblatt's, and he gave me 20. I'm like, "Oh, the store's covered." And he just, "I know, man, idiot. It's for you." And I was like, "Dude, this is." My
That's
whole shift pay
fucking
that night
crazy.
was $25. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I do it. I as soon as I walk into it, especially bartenders, when I get one drink, that like the first thing I leave is a 20.
20?
Whether I'm drinking like again or not, because I just want to. I'm just hey,
friend,
I know,
friend.
I
Yeah,
know.
right,
I'm
right.
with you on it. And they're always just like, "Oh, do you want me to break this up?" I'm like, "No, it's for you." And like, "Fucking thanks," like.
Damn.
I've been there, man. I've been there. Because if everybody did that,
If everyone did it, you wouldn't have these uptight people. My friend told me he was at the Golden Globes or something like that, and he was like a schlub, but he managed to get a ticket to it, And they were waiting, the valet. There's big stars, and it was like a Tara Reid type. I don't know if it was Tara Reid, but it was something like that in her prime, one of those. And then somebody comes up with a black Honda, and her response was, "Oh, who brought a Honda?"
oh, die.
Yeah, die. It was just
Die.
like, you've never worked for
Literally
anything.
die. That sounds severe.
It's a good car. Like, what are you talking about? And also, no matter what car they're driving, like, die. Yeah, literally die. You're right.
It's fucking literally the worst of society has to offer right there.
Yeah.
We filmed at Carnegie Deli once, and
Closing down.
I know. I heard the one of the dishwashers didn't try and keep it open, but who knows? Yeah. We filmed there once, and Nick Cage happened to be there eating, and so we waited for him to go out, and I was like, I want to say hello. So I went out, and he was spacey at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if he just was relaxed or whatever, but he was very spacey, and he kind of walked out, and it was almost like he was wandering a little, and I'm like. I waited. I saw someone else ask him for a picture, and when he obliged, I said, if you don't mind, I would love to take, and he took a picture with me. And then my buddy Joe came out, and he goes, "Hey, Nick, how you doing, buddy?" He's like, "What do you need? Where you going? You need a cab?" Like he just like to make me laugh. And Nick's like, "Yeah, I need a cab." He's like, "What?" He goes and he whistles. He pulls the cab out. He's like, "Nick, get in." And Nick takes a 20 and goes to give him a 20, but he didn't take it.
Nick gave Joe a 20?
Joe a 20, yeah. But Joe wouldn't take it. He just took a 20 out. But like, it was like very weird. He was just like, "Yeah, I'll take a cab." And then Joe's like, "Oh, I got a cab." And like, he's just doing it to make me laugh.
Yeah.
And then like the cab pulled up and Nick was just like, he just was like.
He just knows you're supposed to tip, I guess.
Yeah. And Joe's like, no, you don't have to do it. It's like he didn't even, like. It almost was like he didn't even. It was like autopilot.
He's like, "I don't even want a cab. I guess I'm getting in one now."
Yeah, you put him in a cab. The cab left. He's like, hit the cab. Like, get out of here.
Sometimes I feel so obligated to tip that when somebody's like, is a tip type of job and they try to do it for me, I'm always like, "Oh, no, I don't want your help because I don't have the money." Like if somebody's like, "I'll take your luggage up to the room for you."
That's-
no, I'll take it myself, please.
That is the number one time I don't want to. I can't tip.
Or like you're in Vegas and you're like, "I'm getting a cab." I see them right there, and some guy's like, "I'll hail it for you." I'm like, "No, don't. I was about to do it."
Right.
Now why are you entering into this equation?
The fucking bellhop. Let me take your bags for you. First of all, I don't need you.
It's got wheels. The other one's over my shoulder. I am fine.
I feel stupid. First of all, making him do that, even though he probably wants to. It's his job. But what am I doing? I'm walking right into that elevator. elevator. I'm going right up. I don't need to, because then I'm waiting for you to
With
come.
Jennifer Lopez?
Then you're
With
coming
40
in the
bags?
room.
Yeah.
No fucking way. And also, I never seem to have like singles or a 5 on me. And like,
And you're like, 20's too much for this.
yeah, I can't give you a 20
Yeah.
to roll my weekend bag 30 feet. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
And then when they insist, like sometimes they insist, and I've insisted no, and then they've even insisted.
Over insisted you.
What am I going to do? I just give them the bag. And then I'll just be like, do you have change of a 20?
They had that sometimes.
Sometimes they say no, and
Me and Jay ordered Dan and John's once, and the guy was like, "Oh, I don't have change for whatever." And then I was like, he had a 50. And let's say it was like 32, and he goes, "I don't have change for that." And he was like,
that's fucking on him.
"Yeah," but I was like, "Oh, I have 220, so I'll just pay Jay. Don't worry about it." And he goes, "Oh, I don't have change for that. Like, I don't have any money." And we're like, "Wow, what a good way to get a tip."
Right.
What a great way to
So
get a
what
tip.
happened?
We gave him 8, whatever it was.
Oh, but you said it?
Yeah, it said it right in front of him. I was like, man, that's a good way to get a tip. Not having any change.
Yeah. I used to. Do you have any good like pizza delivery stories?
Dude, I used to get change for people when they gave me like under $1 tip. You know,
Yeah.
like it was $9.75, and like keep the change. I'm like, no, I'll go to my car.
Yeah.
I'll get the quarter. I have one in the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated those people.
I had a lady one time. She ordered. It was $4.95. It was during the day shift, so like the guy who owned the pizzeria would oblige, like because she would order almost every day, but she'd order one slice and one can of Coke.
Oh.
Anyway, she never ever tipped. She would order one slice, one can of Coke. It was like $3. I drove to her house. She'd give me $3. But she ordered like every day, and I was like annoyed. But I guess she was technically a good customer. I don't know. But it was slow. Normally, you wouldn't deliver for that. Anyway, $4.95 it was one time. I'll never forget this. And this is the one time I ever did this. Okay, so first of all, I got really mad that she would never tip, and I did this. Okay, I did.
Let
this.
it hit the fan.
I did
What?
this. I did do this.
What?
I spit
On a pizza?
on a pizza. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's the one time in my life I did it.
Did you like tour or did you?
No, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do the loogie one.
You got to really have
I
it already.
spit and then I rubbed it in so it wouldn't look like spit was on it. Yeah. It was 2 Sicilian slices, one with pepperoni and a can of Coke.
And one, did you spit on the pepperoni one or the non-pepperoni?
I spit on both and I rubbed it in.
both. Okay.
Yeah.
Make it even.
Yeah. And she always used to take so long to come to the door. And then she always used to be like overly nice, which felt phony because I felt like she's like, I'm being overly nice because I'm not giving you anything.
Right.
So one time, she did this.
Yeah.
My boss would oblige her every day, and I deliver one slice and one can of Coke. And I feel bad that I did that, but fuck it. Anyway, one day she ordered that. It was $4.95, and I went, and she took so long to get to the door, and then she came to the door and she handed me a fucking manila envelope. And she says, I'm sorry, this is all I had to pay for it. There's something in there for you. I took the envelope and I said, okay. She closed the door. I peeked in. It was only pennies. Only. So I was like, I can't fucking wait. So I went back to the pizzeria. I walked in. I opened up the manila envelope and I dumped it on the front counter. And my boss was like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, you got to put this in the register. This is what she paid me. He's like, you're kidding me. I said, no. So we were all like, we were in between hysterics, laughing, and like couldn't believe it. And so I said, she even said to me, there's something in there for you. We counted it. 500 pennies. It was $4.95.
Wow.
She gave me 5 cents.
Wow.
My boss called her on the phone. He said, and he said, I have to tell you something, he said to her. And I was like beaming. He said, I have had this pizzeria for like 15 years, and I've never, ever, ever once in 15 years had an experience like this. I'm going to send my guy back to give you your pennies back. You could pay me a different way when you have the money another time. And then after that, he wouldn't deliver to her anymore.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You have don't order pizza. How about that? How about if you only have 500 pennies, don't order the pizza.
You don't have enough. It's not like you come from another country where you don't know about tipping. It's like
Yeah, like don't like you didn't have a single in your house. You live in an apartment. You're an adult person.
if you don't have enough to tip. Also, it's like you got to go get. Yeah, you don't have 4 singles.
No, but how about you? Yeah, you do.
Change in your pennies yourself, and then
Right. It was disrespectful.
Yeah,
It was disrespectful.
You deal with this.
Yeah, you deal with it.
That's what you do
500
with somebody if you lose a bet to them and you're so angry about it.
I had a
Then you're like,
fucking
"Here's pennies."
smile on my face when I knocked on her door again with like my arm out, like to give her the thing back.
What'd she look like? What'd she like?
She was like, she didn't look good.
She was probably like, free
She
pizza
was
for me.
She was like short, big specs, pretty dumpy.
Oh, I meant like, what was her face when you gave her the fucking money back? Not like overall. Not like hook me up with her.
She just same fake smile. Like I felt the embarrassment of the situation,
Yeah.
but she didn't let onto it in it with her face. I had a girl tip me by just showing me her boobs once.
I never
Big
had that.
fake boobs.
I got trained in that. Like, oh yeah, they'll invite you in. I'll ask you for the special sauce. But I think that guy was just full of shit.
No,
Showed you her boob. How did she do that? How she was like, I don't have money.
she
but
was
here.
so hot.
Yeah.
And she always tipped well.
Yeah.
She tipped $5. I delivered pizza in 94. So the pizza was $8. So a $5 tip was insanity.
Oh, yeah.
Pure insanity.
Damn.
And I only had like 5 residences out of like the probably 100 regulars that would tip 5. And just like you just said, if that order came in, I was going to her first.
For sure.
Yeah. And she
Piping
was
hot for you.
She was and she was my age, maybe a little older, and like a punk rock chick. And she had huge cans, and she always would come to she would always be dressed really cool, you know. And then sometimes she'd come to the door, and she would just have on like a silk robe that ended like right there. And then like one time she came to the door, and like I don't know, maybe she was like they were drinking or whatever, and she's like, actually she didn't put me in place of the tip. She gave me the tip anyway, and she's like, thanks so much. And she's like, oh, here's another one for you, and she just opened it up, and I was just like, oh my God.
Wow.
And then she like giggled and smiled and just like, it was like, I'll see you again. And like closed the door. And I was like, I had heard might happen sometimes because friends are, and then that was the only time it ever happened. And I just, she was so pretty and everything. And I was just like, she closed the door and I just stood there for like an extra like 20 seconds. Like, oh my God. Another thing that I used to deliver. So I lived right next to Park Hill where like the whole Wu-Tang like used to be from.
They're from Staten Island?
Yes, well, a good portion, and they're from like Brooklyn. A few of them are from Staten Island proper, and like they definitely used to like. That's where they like first started out. Like that's what they would call their home base. Shaolin is Staten Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's what Shaolin is Staten Island.
That's just another way of Staten Island? Shao?
That's what we call Staten Island, Shaolin.
Really?
Yeah, because they've got it from old kung fu movies,
Shaolin.
the Shaolin Temple, the Shaolin monks. And they were heavy into kung fu when they were forming everything. That's why all of their like etymology, where they come from, their history, their names are all based in Wu-Tang is old kung fu movies.
Yeah.
So everything. So they called it the Shaolin, the Killer Hills, 103, 04, and everything. So Rosebank, where I grew up in the very next town is Park Hill. So they were in because that's where I deliver pizza. They were in my radius. So I would like deliver to them and stuff, and I would deliver to like also like the projects, which is like rough like neighborhood. And my buddies, they used to come literally like do my whole shift with me. So like my buddy Mike or my buddy Joe would come. I worked 5 to 11. They'd come in like at 6 and like, you know, because they're in the pizzeria, I'm making boxes, but we're watching football or whatever it is. And they're just chilling, eating free pizza. And then if I have a delivery, they come in the car and they go on the delivery with me. So they'd come hang out with me for the whole fucking shift. They did this thing to me they started to do, which I had to literally ban them from hanging out because I would go. And so it was like the summer, so my windows are down. I drove like a Chevy Cavalier station wagon, a red Chevy Cavalier station wagon, a completely cracked window. And so I would pull up outside like a house in a really, really bad neighborhood. And I would so the windows were down. So I would go to the door and ring the bell. And then they would turn my radio to like Light FM, like 106.7, like fucking legit, like Celine Dion, like I'm your lady, and you, like the Titanic song.
Yeah.
And they would turn it as loud as it can go, and then lay back in the seat. So when the guy opened the door, like some fucking literal like dude, like a really rough neck dude would open the door. My car, like no one's in my car, and I'm blasting Celine Dion, and they would always like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I just like would literally be like, it's like the feeling I get on the show now. I would turn beet fucking red, you know, and I would just like I literally sweat, but I'd be like laughing but holding it in, and then like I'm trying to give this guy his pizza, and it's like Celine Dion's wailing through the streets, and no one else is in the car. It was the funniest thing, you know.
Is there good pizza in Staten Island?
Great,
it is, right?
Yeah, great. We can go toe to toe with any borough with that.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the food in general like? What's your specialties? What do you got? You got late night or not really?
Not really. Not like you have here. It's like fucking go on to Seamless and just do anything. Are we going too long?
No, I've just
ready to go
in like 20 minutes. But it was probably the last topic anyway.
Yeah. I mean, not late night like you have, but I mean, Italian's great. There's a lot of Sri Lankan places. We have one of the biggest Sri Lankan communities, I think, outside of Sri Lanka.
Really?
On the planet, yeah.
Sri Lankan food.
Yeah. We have a lot of good Mexican. We have some good falafel. We have good stuff.
Yeah.
We got a variety, you know.
First time I had garlic bites was in Staten Island.
Oh, really?
Blew
Garlic
my mind.
knots?
Yeah, the garlic knots. I was like, what?
Yeah. Where'd you go in Staten Island and have garlic
I
knots?
don't know. Probably
Why?
a kosher place.
Oh, because you were visiting your Jewish friend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go for the garlic knots. I remember, like, not having
We used to have a
before.
couple of great Jewish delis too, but the Golden's Deli, but it closed down.
Really?
But it was cool. They had old cable cars in the restaurant, and you eat inside the cable car.
Oh, neato.
Yeah, there's some cool spots. It's not like here where you could like right now where you live.
Yeah.
You fucking open up Seamless, and there's the cuisine of the world, and it's until midnight or 2 a.m. or
Center all
4
the
a.m.
time.
It's one of the best things ever, right?
What's like the best pizza place in Staten Island?
It's contended, whatever. Everyone has like their top 5. My favorite place is Lee's Tavern.
Yeah.
Dive bar, been there forever. They just do bar pies. They don't deliver, and you can't get slices.
Oh, cool.
It's cool. And then Danino's is the one that's Danino's and Joe and Pat's are the two that are the most well known. Like when Gothamist writes up, like where they include them. Lee should be included too. There's
feel
a
like
place
every
called
time-
Nunzio's I love.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, Nunzio's is really good. They've been there a long time too.
I feel like every time they write something up like that, those people just look at what everyone else wrote up and go, well, I got to include some of these. They don't actually go around deciding for themselves from scratch what's the best.
Those shits are regurgitated.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to write. Mm-hmm. It's just no one's doing that. No one but Alexis is going around tasting every pizza.
Exactly. Yeah. Fat Alexis is like, "This for myself."
Do you feel like you try? What's your favorite New York pizza?
I mean, I like the Joe's and Moneta a lot.
The Joe's, yeah.
The Joe's near the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah, by Carmine, on Carmine, right there across the street on 6th Ave.
Yeah. Not the one on 14th. It's pretty,
no, not 14th.
But yeah.
Yeah, the one right there. But Comedy's
it's so fucking good.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Love it. The sauce is sweet, and it's so thin. And a lot of times they'll burn it, so they char the crust a little bit.
That's great.
And you could put down 2 slices and not feel like... Yeah, I love
Sometimes
Joe's.
you get one, you're like, what am I doing when you finish it? Like,
I know.
in line.
Yeah, that's what I do. I get one and I just like pace it, and I know I'm going to get on. For me, that is a real slice. That's a quintessential slice. It's nothing fancy.
Yeah.
That's like
Slice
the
of
pizza
cheese.
that I
You need anything on it?
grew up with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
Staten Island type pizza.
Yeah. But I do love like Arturo's. Mm-hmm. You know, I love, Juliana's. I don't know if you ever had Juliana's, but there's places I haven't tried. But, have you ever tried DeFara?
Heard the name.
It's in Midwood, Brooklyn. It's a fucking corner shop. Been there 50 plus years.
Yeah.
Same owner. Never getting a facelift type place.
Yeah.
He is the only guy that makes the pizza.
Really?
It has been touted as the best pizza ever. So you got to wait between 1 to 2 hours for you.
Deep Brooklyn. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
I've heard of that.
you wait an hour.
Day of it.
You look in there. It's one dude, and he's moving at his own snail's pace. It's like the Nicholson of pizza.
Yeah.
Like, you want a slice? Wait for a slice. He makes each pie sit like he's sitting there, like he's sauntering over to like the basil and then sauntering back. And I went on a little pizza run with some friends. I had never went. I never even heard of it. It's shame on me. And I went. They had a private event, so you weren't allowed inside. So there was like, no joke, there was 40 people waiting for a slice outside, and we ordered just slices, and I waited an hour and 50 minutes. And I knew I was going to wait an hour. I thought that was part of the experience. Everyone's on the sidewalk talking about shit, and so after the hour, though, At an hour and 50, I was just like, I'm ready to not like it. Like I was kind of like turned against it. I'm like, it's unreasonable.
Yeah.
But again, it might have been because of the private party, and I ate the fucking pizza, and I was like, holy fuck,
Worth it.
worth it. And it's nothing fancy. It's just perfect. Perfect. And I haven't been back. I only went once. Can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
I was in Vegas recently, and in MGM they had a licensed DeFara pizza there.
Oh, really?
I didn't try it, but I don't know if it's
It's
the
not
same.
the same guy.
Yeah.
Same
no,
thing
it's the
with
same guy. Same owner.
He's not there making it.
No.
The same thing with that Joe's on 14th. It's just not quite as good as the one on
Right.
Minetta.
Yeah.
But I had that at Franklin Barbecue where I waited. It was like 2.5, 3 hours. Luckily, it rained, so a lot of people left.
Yeah.
But it was like
Franklin's where in
Austin.
Oh yeah.
Barbecue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then you're just like, this is not worth. And you eat it like, oh yeah, I don't even care about the weight anymore.
Yeah, I haven't eaten it.
That
I'll be in.
brisket will melt in your mouth.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm in Austin 3rd week of November.
3rd week of November.
Yeah. I'm gonna try
I
and
know
be.
a guy, if you want, who'd probably trade you tickets to go wait in line for you.
Really?
Yeah, this guy, John Michael, he's super cool.
I'll do that.
Yeah, he waits in line. They have these task rabbit people like, I'll just wait in line for you.
No
Get
shit.
It, take it to your hotel if it's nearby or something.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there like November 19th or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do. You do Moon Tower?
Yeah, I love it.
Are you gonna do it again? Do you not know? Is it not?
I don't- when
I
is
asked my agent this
April?
year if I get. Yeah, it's in April.
Yeah, I'll probably do it.
I've never done the solo comedy festivals.
Oh.
So this year I'm gonna try and do as
Oh, dude,
many
there's
as
so
I
much
can.
fun.
Is South by fun?
No, not nearly as much.
Okay.
It's okay.
I told him I want to do Moon Tower. What other ones should I?
Moon Tower, Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal. I want to. Yeah.
That's more of a getting in one.
Right, right.
Moon Tower, that's fine. But it's like a cool hangout.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of comics there. South by is like one they first used to have it during the same week as the music, and it was like nobody came. It was such a shit show. And then they moved it to a week early, but then the problem is now you're not able to go see any music. So like, what's the point?
Right.
And it's okay if you get a crew of people. Because even if you have like a festival with like 15 comics, you just like, you guys got nothing to do all day. That's your crew. Or
Yeah, I mean
few of them are.
that's literally what I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to doing.
Yeah.
Not performing. I want to like have like
Yeah,
a reason to be on the
exactly.
road with my friends.
Bridgetown was pretty cool, but I don't know if you'll know those people. That's more LA comics, I think.
I know a good amount of LA ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bridgetown was cool, but it's like a lower level comic too.
Right.
It's a free one. You don't
Okay.
really pay, so then you don't get like Big J won't go to that.
Okay.
But Maui was that was only 1 year and done. They lost too much money. That was one of the best times I've ever had.
Yeah. I want to make sure I go on a few this year.
Yeah, I mean, put in for them. Tell your agents
Yeah.
like I really want to go to them, and
Yeah.
like just start putting in for them.
Yeah.
They're just great. They're great, and you get to see some top level comics that you don't
Yeah.
really get to see, and they're giving out their A material.
Right.
And then you just I mean, one of the best memories I had was at Bridgetown one year. They have strip clubs everywhere in Portland. And so we went like 40 of us went like after a show
Amazing.
daytime. They had an open arcade for us. And then we just drank. We paid for our own paps but those free games for 2 hours. Then went to the strip club. And it was like Pete Holmes and Nick Rutherford and all these comics. And we were all just having a great, two strippers going back and forth.
Yeah.
And there was no skeeviness about it.
Yeah.
We were all just yelling and screaming.
Is it one of those
and going.
moments when in the moment you know, oh, this is a fucking memory right now. This is
No, why not even that? It was just
All
after. It was like, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was when Pete just got out of religion too, so he was like, "Oh my god,
I don't know Pete.
he's a cool guy."
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have mutual friends. I haven't yet to meet him.
Yeah. It's just a fun memory. Those things are just like great. So
Yeah.
at Moon Tower this year, we were all downstairs at wherever they do the ping pong tournament, and after a big show there, and then I just went to meet it was Joe List and I think Big J, Soder, Normand, and everyone was just talking until way after the show downstairs.
Yeah.
Like, in the hallways down there.
Yes.
And then eventually, like, guys, all right, we're closing the venue. So like, cool, we left, and then there was an after party to the right. And we're like, let's go take a walk down by the river. Like, all of us. It's about 7 blocks that way. Let's just go
Love
there.
it. Fucking love it.
Yeah, but then Normand and one other person like, well, let's go do a lap in the after party. I'm like, guys, it's maybe no lap. We're going to be there for 2 hours.
Right.
Let's just go. And they're like, let's do a lap. It's like, all right, we're just going to go. Catch up with this if you can.
Right.
And they were gone. And man, what a fun list came. It was List, Sarah, Big J, Christine, Soder. Just a fun group.
Great crew.
Yeah. Sarah's like brother. And we just chilled and walked, smoked a little bit.
Yeah.
Fucking, yeah. That's what the
perfect.
festivals are.
That's it. I went in on that.
Yeah.
I went in on that.
Yeah.
I look
Oh, yeah.
forward to
You
it.
got enough of a name for sure. Do it.
Yeah.
You just got to tell your agent, like, they're like, well, I don't know because it won't pay us enough money. And you got to be like, I know. Just go ahead and do it anyway.
Oh yeah, tell them that. Yeah, I don't care.
Also, it's the best way to stay relevant in comedy is to have your colleagues seeing that you're a comic.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it like that when you do like big like headlining festival, like a big festivals like that? Is it about making sure you kill too? Because you're saying everyone's doing their A material.
Yeah,
or?
not everybody does, but yeah, I saw Kinane at Bridgetown, and I've seen Kinane since. And at festivals, he's always like
Turned up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I saw him at Bridgetown. I remember Steve Agee next to me watching him, and I remember looking around like, oh, there are people here to see what Kyle Kinane is doing on stage right now.
Got it.
They're not just like, oh, watch. It's like, let's see how good he's gotten. I've heard of him. You know?
Oh.
And this was like 5-6 years ago when he wasn't like as big as he is now.
Right. It's like comedy fans.
Yes. And then Diaz told me, your fellow Cuban told me that or you're not Cuban at all, huh?
I'm Cuban.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
don't know Joey though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he went to Montreal. Well, I went to Montreal, and he goes, hey, only closers. Only do closers the entire time you're there. No fucking around.
Oh,
just do
really?
your biggest, strongest bits. And I was like, really? He goes, don't fuck around.
Yeah.
And he
See,
was
I'm
right.
not even ready for something like that.
He was right. It was like, just do your best. But whatever. Do the best you can.
Right.
Yeah, I saw Jay Larson at one of those finish with a story, and I was like, oh, this is the new.
Are the crowds...
They're cool. They're
Cool,
usually,
right.
it depends on the festival, but usually they're going to see 5, 6, 10 shows. So they're just comedy savvy. They're there to have a
Right.
good time. They're nerds.
Right. Then so it's not like...
Not like, fuck
drunk-
you, get off
yeah.
stage. Nah,
So
Edinburgh is for sure.
It's like that, live
Yeah.
drunks, yeah.
But
Gethard was telling me that he had one night had a bachelor party come in.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like 50 guys. And they...
it's not the show for the bachelor party. Chris
yeah,
Gethard's show.
I know. And he said they were getting up to walk out 2 at a time throughout the whole thing.
Really?
Like 50 of them, and they had to cross like stage or and he just like he said that he was like, hey guys, and he kind of found out that because he asked, he's like, what's going on, and he found out, and it's like at first he thought it was, I don't want to fuck this story up, but he's like, maybe they were doing it to be discreet, so it's not like 50 like a mass exodus. But then he said that he cued into the fact that they were doing it on purpose to fuck with the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's
Lame.
shitty.
That is lame. I didn't see Chris's hour at Montreal. Edinburgh is one of my regrets.
He's starting it down the block.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, it starts. So today's. It's the 5th.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow the 5th.
Yeah.
It opens tomorrow at the Bleecker Street
There
Theater.
you go. I'll go to that. Second
Yeah.
chances.
Yeah, it'll be there till the end of November. I'll give him a little plug.
There you go. Yeah.
I wish
go see Chris Gethard's show.
Culture Project, I think it's called. So it's
That's what it's called? That wasn't what it was called in-
145 Bleecker. It's on Bleecker. It's at
Subculture?
no Bleecker and Lafayette.
Okay.
I think something right there. I know the name of this theater. I fucking filmed there 4 times, but yeah, it's there. It's there. It's there starting tomorrow until the end of November.
All right. Good plug.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. I tried to get him on this year. This is not happening, but he had to shoot.
Yeah, man, probably.
Yeah.
He's a great dude. Mm-hmm. Plugs?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. I'll do some up front too. But your show's on right now, right?
Yeah, it's on every Thursday at 10.
Thursday at 10 on True TV. No E, I mean.
No way.
Why do they go without the E? You're on
You
Twitter,
just
so-
watch me spend 500 times more time thinking about than I ever have in my life. Yes, at Sal Vulcano. I guess we're touring. That starts in 2 days. It's Friday, October 7th.
Okay.
We're going for 2 weeks on the bus, mostly East Coast. We're getting as far as actually we're touring all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna head to Europe.
Yeah, heading to Europe in January. So between now and January, I'll probably do about at least 30 cities.
Damn.
Yeah, it's big.
It's
It's good.
Practical Jokers.
Yeah. And then
Wait,
November.
where are all those dates?
So that is Boston, Chicago, Albany, South Dakota, Vegas, Austin, Dallas, Denver, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, State College, PA, Indiana twice. I'm actually at Indiana solo. My first ever solo road gig with Soder and Chris DiStefano.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're playing at Hanover College on October 28th.
Okay, can I just tell you when I said where are all those dates? I meant what website can you find those on?
Is that why you left? I was like, I was when you said it, I took a deep breath because I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it, but I don't even know. Those dates are on practicaljokers.com or the tenderloins.com. I mean, literally not my fault.
You were like, oh, okay. Like, what?
You looked at me, you're like, well, where are all those dates? I was like, well, you can find those dates on the internet. I was like, you want me to name 30 cities right now? I'm like, all right. My big closer.
Yeah.
It's like, no, yeah. That's it. Oh, but but this is the thing, though. No, this is the one. November 3rd is it's a live season finale.
Yeah.
So it's
really?
2-hour live finale of our show.
Where?
At the Prudential Center in Newark.
Ooh.
We're teaming up with Nitro Circus to do like all these like stunts and shit
Really?
for charity. Yeah, we did it. Our 100th episode was live, and we tightrope walked 6 stories above in South Street Seaport, and
How far did you guys get?
I made it halfway, and I could have made it all, but I fucked up. But Q made it all the way and won
Really?
$50,000 for his charity, and we all won $10,000 for our charity.
Wow.
And it was like a big success for the network. It was really fun, and it was really insane. 5,000 people showed up. We did it right outdoors at the Seaport. And I used to work in that building for Prudential. Literally, I was on the 8th floor. So when I was perched up, ready to start on the wire, my fucking office window was like 20 feet away. It was kind of
Wow.
cool. It was a cool little thing. I looked up. I was like, that's where my desk was right there. But so they want to do another live event. That was an hour. So this is 2 hours live, and anyone could come. It's like
really?
Yeah. So it's at the Prudential Center. We're selling tickets because we didn't want to leave it open because then you have no gauge of who's showing up and who's not. But I think the tickets are like $10.
Right.
And
cool.
and it's going to be live. It's going to be 2 hours on November 3rd at 8
Oh, yeah.
o'clock. I'm telling everybody to come. I'm like any of my friends who want to just come hang out.
That would be fun as hell.
Yeah.
And then after that, head to Austin and go see me tape my special November 2nd through the 5th.
Yes.
I don't know. Hell yeah. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
You guys have changed that network.
Thanks.
I mean, they are now, when people like pitch stuff, now they go like, well, what about True TV? Now people view them as like a place.
they're in the comedy conversation now.
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
happy about that.
Yeah.
Just for the network too. But even because for us, it's like in the beginning, like there was we were the only ones.
Yeah.
And now it's like
so weird. You would be on, then some fucking awful, corny magician would be on. And you're like,
oh, I can't talk about bad about Carbonaro.
but like, it was
he's
like,
a great.
what is
he's a
this?
funny, nice dude, and he's still on.
oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, it's like the tow truck shows and the fake fights and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that was what was on.
Tow truck
But
shows.
now it's like so awesome to have people that I admire and that I want to work with and that I know like other comedians
Yeah,
and
those
other.
Grolix guys are there, right?
Oh yeah, they're on there. Yeah, they're awesome. They're so nice too.
Oh, yeah.
And just there's other comedians are on the network now, so that's great because like that's where I want to be. I wanted to be on that network, and I did it, and we weren't, and now we kind of are on that type of network.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
That's so cool. You made it become.
people say that it feels weird to like be like, yeah, we did, but I don't know. I don't know really what made it happen, but it is definitely cool now to be amongst everybody like-minded.
Yeah.
Like-minded. Not every show's good.
Yeah, but they have the mindset of like, hey, let's just put out some good stuff, actually.
Yeah.
Instead of like something that'll be profitable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, anyway, hell yeah, man.
Dude, I've like wanted to come and do this with you for a long time.
Yeah. That really? That's nice.
No, I do. I don't know if you remember. We talked about
I
it
know, we
like
did
a
talk
couple
about
of
it.
years ago.
I know.
And I was like, oh, come on, anytime.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are we going to talk about? We'll talk about Staten Island. I was like, great.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how it would go. I didn't really know if I don't know I don't know.
No, that was great. Next time we'll talk about, I realized too, as you said, we'll talk about bartending.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I have crazy.
Yeah. Well, I was like, oh. if you told me that 20 minutes in, I would have just shifted.
Yeah.
But it's all right. I just noted. I was like, next time. That's what it'll be.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, thanks for doing the show, man. That was killer.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, it was killer.
Good,
It'll
good.
be out now, I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, see Sal Thursday, October 13th.
Oh, yeah.
11:59.
October 13th is. Can I just thank you one more time?
Your your solo TV debut,
Will always be for the rest of my life.
yeah,
Thank you,
I love
dude.
that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
dude. I love when I get to do that stuff. I just
dude,
feel
when I got,
better about it.
can I just say, seriously?
Yeah.
So like, I'm doing this, you know, and like my family knows I'm doing it, my friends know I'm doing it, but I don't. No one's coming. I just go every night and do my spots, and I keep it to myself. But I'm fully transitioning and all that stuff like that, and I'm really working, you know, as hard as I can at it and stuff like that. And it was just like a really big deal for me. And it's like it's on Comedy Central. It's such a respected show. It's you and the other people that are on it are so amazing. Yeah. And I was like, oh my god, you know, and like. Literally like texted my friends and like told my parents, I'm like, I'm gonna be doing like, you know, solo stuff on Comedy Central on my friend's show. I'm like, Stanhope's gonna be on like that, and it was like my family was like, oh my god, it was like a big deal for me. Yeah.
That's cool too, because you're like on a TV show for 6 years.
Yeah, but my TV show feels fake. Because I make it from soup to nuts. I edit it. We do everything. When it airs, I feel like I'm just playing my home movies for the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when I'm on someone else's show, I'm literally like, oh my god, look, I'm on TV.
I know what you mean too. It's like, and you built a set, and you're like, this. I prepared for this. And
Yeah,
I
man.
did it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to be on so bad.
Yeah.
You know, and like, because I had started
I know
this
you
story.
wanted to be on the year before too. It's like,
Yeah.
How about that? I'm like, not quite, man.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
But like, keep working it.
Yeah. And I did.
Yeah, you did
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, the
Killed.
time that I told it live at the Creek for you was literally the first time I ever said it.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was like, I have a fun story. I'll get through it. It's the Creek, you know. It's like I'll have it. I have my beginning, middle, and end. But that was the first time it came out of my mouth. Wow. So you know, I got it down. I narrowed it down. I cut 9 minutes off it and made everything.
'13th at 11:59 p.m. And every Thursday after that for 10 weeks. I think we skip a week in there, so 11 weeks total. This is not happening. New season out. Oh, you guys are going to have a great one. Kreischer story crushes. Bobby Lee's story crushes. Renazizi's story crushes. Sean Flannery, you guys are going to love that one. You guys are going to love that one. Lisa Traeger was great. Oh, we got a bunch of good ones. Regan, fucking a joy to watch. McCullough was awesome. I know, it was a ton. All right, that's the episode. So, Bell House in Brooklyn, October 18th. Austin, Texas, November 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Get tickets now at arithegreat.com. It's going to be a party. I'm really excited. And that's it, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for telling everybody about it. Thefuzzle.com if you want muzzles for your shithole ass fuck dog. Beautiful muzzles. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let's call it, right? Is there anything else to say? No, I don't think so. Bye. Don't forget, this is Not Happening playlist on YouTube. See everything. Again, Canadians, Australians, New Zealanders. I apologize. Thank you very much, Sal, for coming in. Have a good night, everybody.